Hello there, and welcome to another fantastic episode of the Great Hall Podcast. I'm your host, Ark, and here with me I have the probably one and only Italian Monster Hunter DJ, Duplex. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine. What about you?
All right, shut up. We got a real important guest here. Now. Let's not
Holy
about
shit, fuck off. Wow, tossed to the side just like that.
Just like straight up, okay.
Your use is, you've reached your use for me, man. Your potential is done. Now, but here with me today I actually got the man who has his weapon idea for Monster Hunter stolen by Marvel. The #1 Gunlance lover and leader of the Ironbreakers. Rurikon, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm extremely tired because August was one hell of a month, chock full of amazing game releases. But yeah, other than that, doing pretty good.
I barely remembered what games came out in the last 2 months until you released that piece where you were what's his name? Ben Curtin?
Ben Kirton, yeah.
Yeah, you were talking to him about Remnant 2, and I was like, holy shit, I spent 70 hours on that game, and I completely forgot it existed.
Yeah. It's actually one of the best games that came out this year. Straight up,
It's so good. It's so
I
good.
gotta pick it up. I know you guys keep Art keeps recommended it to me. Like, I just
can't believe
really
you haven't played it. Completely unacceptable.
And then you ask why I make fun of Italian people. This is why. This is why. Okay. Try harder. Don't make excuses.
Something tells me most Italian gamers did pick up Remnant 2, so that's fine.
Dude, Remnant 2 was... I was already surprised enough when they announced it, because I was like, Remnant for me was a great game, the first one, but it was one of those under-the-radar picks that nobody really picked up. Like, I played it with 2 of my friends who are into Souls, and we had a blast, and I was like, well, you know what the problem is? Because after I played one of the DLCs, which has a couple of technical issues.
Oh my god, dude. I could tell you stories.
Yeah. It's more trauma than a story, really. But basically, the problem with that DLC is that the story's cool, but the fucking... God, I don't even know where to begin with it. I'm just getting back. I mean, the flashes are coming back.
It's like I don't know how much you want to dedicate talk about Remnant. You said you want to talk about Armored Core 6, but I'll rattle off on Remnant.
Oh, they can wait. Like, they can wait. Okay. People who are here for Armored Core 6, there's
gotta get it
stamps,
out of his system. He's been building this up for months.
This is a venting session, okay? So if you guys want to talk about Armored Core 6, just move towards the it's fucking time stamped. Let's not pretend like technology doesn't exist. So move forward to Armored Core 6 if you want to hear about the Remnant 2 extravaganza. It's now.
No, but listen, so Remnant 1, I got it on PS4 because, I have this thing where the place that I'm in right now, this is actually not my house. I'm like in a warehouse where I record and do content. And then at night I go home. And so when I go home, I don't have like because I don't carry the PCs around everywhere because that'd be annoying as hell.
That'd be awful,
Yeah, so when I go home, I don't actually have a PC, so I would have my PlayStation there. It's easier to carry, put that in the backpack, good to go. So I bought it on PS4 so that I could play it in multiple places. And I was playing through it on PS4, and like, first Remnant, fantastic, loved it, amazing. I skipped the first DLC, and then the second DLC, Subject, whatever, I forget the name, 2000
I
something.
Don't remember the name.
There's like bugs where the sound stops working.
Yeah,
there's bugs
all the time.
Where I'm out of sync because I'm playing cooperative with a friend, and like everything's out of sync. And then we muddle through it until we get to the final boss, which is literally unplayable.
Yep.
It's just like you can't see the things the boss is throwing at you.
Would it crash or would it like?
Dude, it's not about what it would do, is more what wouldn't go wrong. Like if any element within the fucking boss run through was okay, that's a rarity. Because I reached the final boss and I was like, I'm not beating this. Fuck it. I'm not touching this game any further. And I just went, I'll just look at the final cutscene. Because the final boss, let me tell you, if I took LSD and acid and I didn't eat for 3 days, it would still be more comprehensible than whatever the hell happens in that final boss fight.
Yep. And the thing about it was, I was about to do the same thing, but somebody in chat said, hey, I have a giga overpowered character. I'll carry you through the boss. And I was like, fine. Because I couldn't see anything. The only reason this dude could do the boss is because like he had fully upgraded armor to the nth degree. So he could just eat the mechanics and kill the boss anyway. So this guy goes in there, kills the boss. And after he kills the boss, I'm about to watch the final cutscene. Game crashes.
Oh my god, dude!
And this was like simply uninstalled.
But it's so weird because like Remnant as a whole, the first one, It was such a clean experience. The first DLC, clean. Like I ran into like a couple of bugs here and there, but nothing that was game breaking, nothing that put me off the game. That final fucking DLC releases, I was so hyped because I was like, this is probably the last time I'll ever hear this game. You know, like what are the chances that a game that barely anyone's talking about
is gonna get
a sequel? So I was just like, here you go, like this is the last right, let's go. And then I go into that fucking boss fight. Not just the boss fight, but like I basically played most of the game without any sound.
Damn.
Not surprising. Not surprising. Like I caught that bug a lot too. But
it was on Steam, and it usually happened when I went for a charged melee attack. It was really weird. So if you had a bug where you had the lever action rifle because I had that bad boy maxed out, I'd shoot it, stagger the enemy, go in for like a final blow, and then it would be funny because you would hear like a boop, and then it would just go silent. It was just fun things, But man, like when I was listening to you and Ben talk about Remnant 2, and you guys were talking about like the crossplay stuff, and I just remembered, I was like, this is literally one of my favorite games that I've played this year, and I completely forgot it existed because this year's so jam-packed full of stuff.
It's like, go ahead.
After Lies of P, I gotta pick it up because you guys keep hyping it up. So
it's so funny because like you've picked up Lies of P, like Burkan's picked up Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't touched either of those. I've bought them, but I haven't touched them.
It's just amazing games. Like to me, it was pretty much since May. It's just been kind of like a race.
Yeah.
Because I need to finish Tears of the Kingdom before Diablo 4 comes out. Need to finish Diablo 4 before I think it was Exoprimal comes out. Need to finish Exoprimal before Remnant 2 comes out. Need to finish Remnant 2 before Baldur's Gate 3 or whatever it was, and then need to finish Baldur's Gate 3 before Armored Core. And actually, I was doing Baldur's Gate 3 and Armored Core 6 at the same time.
I saw it. Yeah.
So I was like, I'd be like, oh, let me go ahead and stream Baldur's Gate for 8 hours straight or something, and then immediately after that record 3 episodes of Armored Core 6.
It's so hard. Like, people don't understand how hard it is to just keep up with the game alongside content production, especially if you're someone that is a full-time content creator who not just makes videos but also streams it. It's fucking, like, you don't realize how long it takes, and it is, like, technically a fun job, right? Because you're playing a video game. But if you're thinking about, okay, I am playing the video game, I am streaming it between this hour and this hour, and then I'm going to make a video out of this bit. I gotta use this as background footage so that I don't have to re-record it, but I have to do it fast enough before this other video game is out, because if this patch comes out, it's a fucking mess, and there's not enough hours. As well. There's not enough hours in a day to do all of it. There's just aren't.
Luckily, because I don't just do like one game, I don't get burned out on games themselves. I do get burned out on content creation every now and then, but not actual gaming. Like I'm always excited to play more games. And I haven't gotten to that point where it's like, oh, I have to play this game.
Yeah, no, I think like that's comes down to your personality, man. Because like I think look from your channel basically, because I've been around your channel for a while now, and the problem with in my opinion, the problem with channels that like make expertise on analyzing video games and deconstructing them and their systems and the business decisions behind them, the corporate stuff behind it, it's always so fucking biased. And I could mention so many channels right now, but I don't want to get canceled. So
the thing when it comes to video games and biases though is that it always I always find it fun when somebody tells me, oh, Rurikon is biased towards this or Rurikon is biased towards that. It's like, yes, I am, and I announce it loudly and proudly. The ones you got to be careful for are the ones that tell you, oh no, I'm completely unbiased, because let me tell you, anybody that tells you they're unbiased is a fucking liar.
True.
I will say it, there's not a single person in this industry that is completely unbiased. Doesn't exist.
100%.
Everybody's biased.
I mean, it's personal preference. It's not even a bias.
But there's a different type of bias. There is a bias when you, like, for example, me looking at, like, me on my knees from software, right? Like, me, just me loving everything they do because they do make good games. It's just a fact. I'm sorry. And then
Did you
there's
play
the bias.
Racine?
I didn't. No.
You're not a true From Software
Which
fan,
damn
it. Just got debunked. God damn it, dude. I've never actually
No,
gotten to
actually-
play.
is that they made a VR game. I didn't finish it. I played a
Oh
little bit of
wait,
it. I thought it
think
was
I know
very
what you're
interesting.
talking about.
VR
Yeah, it's
titles and
interesting.
we don't get along. For like when I was in university for 3 years, I worked at a VR arcade, and I maxed out on all VR things. Like I tried anything from the very first Valve headsets to the fuck, what are they called? The ones that are really fancy, the ones that literally track your fingers. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I get it. Like the full tracking suit. I get
Yeah,
it.
I've tried those as well, and I had fun, but oh my god, man, I maxed out on anything VR. But like going back to the bias stuff real quick, there's a different type of bias when you like something because there is genuine context, and there's another of I'm getting paid. That's,
Money.
That's a different strat.
That's what people call shilling, and
Yeah.
that is one of the few things that triggers me. And I probably shouldn't even say this online, but like it triggers the fuck out of me every time somebody says, "Oh, how much did this company pay you?" Because I'm like, motherfucker, I could have bought a house with money from Raid Shadow Legends if
Literally,
I wanted
though.
to. Dirty Raid Shadow Legends money. I could have bought a house. And I didn't shill that. And now you're asking me if Bethesda's paying me? How much you think Bethesda would pay me to shill Starfield? Are you insane?
It's
Like,
it's hilarious, man.
I don't have 1 million subs. They're not gonna pay me money. Are you crazy?
It's so funny because like it's all if in 2023 you can't tell the difference between a channel that sells out and a channel that is genuinely interested, you're stupid. Because if a channel is genuinely interested, you're gonna be doing every single Genshin fucking copy in the planet. Not throwing shade at Genshin Impact. I know there's a lot of people in my community that play the game.
Fucking.
Oh god. But it's the people that like get a Genshin sponsorship, drop the game after a month, like make 5 minutes worth of content. And I'm not here to judge people's content in that sense. I'm just saying there's a clear difference between I'm interested in things and I just want money.
Yeah, and it's like I also want to make it clear that I never tell people when it comes to other creators, I would never tell somebody, "Oh, don't take Raid Shadow Legends dirty money." It's like, look, gotta pay the fucking bills, bro.
Yeah, dude, you gotta
Some people
fucking
gotta
feed
pay
it.
the bills.
It's part
It's
of
like,
the job, let's say.
Yeah. Right now, I can afford not to do it. Am I going to say that I will never do it? I don't know. Like, if it comes down to my kids getting their next meal, and me doing a raid, you better believe I'm going to be shilling Raid Shadow
This
Legends.
video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
No.
No, but it's like if somebody's got to pay the bills, they got to pay the bills. It's that simple. But while I can afford not to, I'm going to keep not doing it. It's just I would expect some people to be more respectful before they'd be like, oh, they see me like being excited for a game that's maybe not the most, because a lot of people didn't like Starfield, which I think is fine. I don't think you have to like Starfield.
Yeah.
But I liked Starfield and I thought it was fun. And because I was enjoying the game, people telling me that I got paid by Bethesda was annoying as hell. I was like, bro,
damn,
the
dude.
fuck? I'm
You're
just
having fun
game.
playing a video game, Rurikon? Disgusting. Disgusting.
Like,
You're just like
know.
the fucking guys back at Rubicon. You do anything for money.
Exactly.
I mean,
the
they also know
corpos.
they're just saying it to like get at you.
Oh yeah.
It's annoying though. Like I
It
think
works.
recently, even it's fucking hilarious because even as a small channel, you run into people who talk shit for the pure sake of finding the slightest possibility of something that could be negative. And we're gonna go into more specific things about that later because I got some fun shit planned ahead of us. But other than that, I would be completely not doing my job if I didn't mention Duplex getting platinum on Armored Core 6. I don't know how.
Yes.
Damn.
I don't know how because I've been trying, and some of these missions are driving me fucking crazy.
That involves doing S tier on every mission.
S rank
every single mission.
Damn.
Every single mission.
I was like, I have uni in 2 weeks. I gotta finish this game and like 100% it before it comes out. It's not that hard of a plan as like I struggled more with Bloodborne, which is the other only From Software game which
hell nah.
I
hell
got
nah, dude.
Bloodborne, yeah.
Plat on Bloodborne in the veins.
I didn't struggle because with Armored Core 6, it's like, it's adaptability turned into a game. So
I think the thing about Armored Core 6 is that it doesn't really require as much time investment, maybe. I mean, it requires some time investment, but it's like, oh, I messed up, just reload the mission, do it again.
Yeah, just reload the mission.
A lot, like, I was gonna talk about this later on, because like the difference is platinum, like going platinum on Bloodborne, I found a lot harder because of the time it took, whereas if I just mess up a mission, I can just restart it. Maybe when I first played the mission, it took me 15-20 minutes to do it, but now I can literally take it to like 5 minutes, if that.
there are some missions which are pretty like crazy with the requirements for S ranking, like speed running through it essentially and just killing everything in your way. But a good percentage of them is just finishing the mission without dying and reloading a checkpoint. That's usually enough. So, but it's a fun plat because it just pushes you to 100% it, and it's not like dumb challenges and stuff like that.
I've been having fun while doing it. I still have ways to go with it, but I've been having fun while trying to platinum Armored Core 6.
I highly doubt that I'm going to platinum it. I am going to do New Game Plus, which I still haven't finished. I'm going to do New Game Plus, New Game Plus Plus. As soon as I get back into it. Yeah, I agree.
It's a great time, man. It's a great time, honestly.
There were a lot of interruptions for me. That was the problem.
Yeah, it's like we were talking earlier. You had to do 5 different games at one go. Like, what was it? Baldur's Gate 3, Lies of P, which, by the way, again, not doing my job properly unless I manage to talk about the penis weapon. Rurikon.
What no, I call it the drildo. I mean, the funniest thing about that weapon, right? And for the people that don't know, I made like a short video that people can look up.
Links in the description. Links in the description. Go check it. You need to watch it for comfort.
Yeah, it's the best weapon in Lies of P. But the funny thing about it was the only reason I picked it up is because it said pistol drill something, and I was like, okay, it's a lance type weapon or a spear type weapon, and it has pistol in the name. That's kind of like a gun lance. I need to pick that up, so I pick it up and I try, and I very quickly find that it's like, wait, it's actually a mistranslation. It's not pistol at all. It's piston drill. Because
the clip, holy shit! No, the clip is the best thing because this guy's so excited. He picks up, he's like, does that sound like a gun lance? And I get it, like, I'm a gun lance main too.
Just neuron activation.
Anything remotely mentioning gun lance is like, it fires up the dopamine in your system and you can't control it. And then the fucking realization, where do I even begin? Like, why did they make the edge of it so oddly phallic? It looks like a dick.
They knew what they were doing. Like,
it's an innuendo, and I'm just like, it's genius. It's genius.
Like, we've been going through the whole program for today's podcast, and like Art just said, like, oh, you know about the penis weapon in Lies of P. I was like, there's a penis weapon.
Because you've been playing it, and I haven't.
Yeah, I've been playing it, and I haven't reached it yet at that point yet. And so he's like, there's a penis weapon, and it just shows me the clips, and like, they knew what they were doing. They definitely knew what they were doing.
And one of the most hilarious things about that weapon is, like, you know how both the handle and the top of the weapon, they have different stats.
Yeah.
So like the top of the weapon, the part that does look like a metallic penis, that part is one of the few weapons that has built-in critical hit.
They knew what they were doing.
I'm
sorry.
It's
genius.
Definitely knew what they were doing.
It's genius game design. I'm not even mad.
I think there might be like 2 or 3 weapons in the whole game that have built-in critical hit.
The first thing that I looked at this weapon, and then I looked at the pile bunker in Armored Core 6, and I could never be the same ever again. Yep. If the pile bunker did the thing where, like, because you guys gotta understand, this isn't like the stake driver in Bloodborne. It's not like a big massive thrust punch kind of thing. It keeps going, and that's why it's so funny. But yeah, like,
Black Dragon wants to know your location or whatever it is. The name of that section.
The big dragon thing.
But it's the interesting thing I don't know how many people actually use the weapon, because I posted that thing as a meme and everybody's like, it's funny and but it's like, no, that thing actually shreds.
Oh yeah, I was watching some of your streams. It does shitloads of damage.
Like, if you can use the Spectre to distract the boss, and you can get up behind the boss and go like,
just chainsaw low.
Ridiculous. It just starts racking up.
Dude,
it deals so much damage.
Genius gameplay. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Genius gameplay decision. Whereas for me, well, like, you know, we have someone platinum. Duplex is going platinum on Armored Core 6. Rurikon has been playing every game known to man. I've literally just finished Armored Core 6. I've been streaming Monster Hunter World again because of that video I was talking where I was talking about.
Because of Stockholm Syndrome.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
Stockholm Syndrome. Monster Hunter World is an amazing game. If I had
No,
more time,
it
I'd
is a
probably play
great
more of it.
It is a great game.
He just likes making fun of me because I suffer
But-
at the hands of
But
the
now
handler.
I'm gonna make the question to the both of you. We'll start with Duplex.
Mhm.
Monster Hunter World base game or Iceborne?
Iceborne, like no question. Like
Really?
I'm pretty sure Iceborne is better. I prefer Iceborne because not for like gameplay reasons and stuff like that, but
Then why?
World felt more grounded, while I like more the colorful and crazy Monster Hunter vibe, and so I felt like Iceborne was more in that direction. So I kind of prefer Iceborne more for that. But
Okay.
I do like Ward for the vibe, the aesthetic, and all the stuff it introduced, right? But I still prefer Iceborne, even because I felt like the community was growing even more during Iceborne. So I don't know. I'm more attached to it.
I actually felt the opposite. I felt that the community was much more around for World than Iceborne.
I was a bit on 50-50 on this one because I think in Iceborne people kind of the biggest critique I was seeing around Iceborne is like, oh, they're basically asking me to buy the game again, and so I have friends that because I'm a world baby. I'm a fifth leader, right? So I started here, and I actually enjoyed Iceborne more purely because when it got to the climax of a hunting, which was stuff like Safajiva, soloing Elatrion, like those were the hunts that will stick with me for life. Now, if you ask me about general terms of content, I think Base Worlds kind of nailed it a bit more on the head. But especially when you talk about stuff like the Clutch Claw, like this is supposed to be like an Armored Core 6 episode, and we still haven't fucking talked about it. But we'll get Rurikon back to talk about Monster Hunter because I need to have this conversation with you as the only two existing Gunlance mains out there who talk on the internet. I think that it's a duty to the community.
Chaos Slayer is out there as well.
But Chaos Slayer doesn't have a podcast. He has to. He needs one. Please. Even if it's all typed out, man, I'll swear I'll listen to everything you have
like
to say.
AI voice and all of that. Yeah, he'll make a podcast with AI voice. That'd be awesome.
Chaos Slayer is out there doing God's work. He teaches people about the way of the Gunlance in a way that I can never explain.
I'm addicted to Gunlance, but Chaos Slayer is like the technical master of Gunlance. He'll be like, oh no, listen, on this one, if you hit the monster during this specific frame with this specific shelling type, with this specific skill set, and you're just like, Jesus Christ.
How does he know? Like the amount of testing this man goes through. He has like an underground lab or something. Like this man is insane.
That was one of the most fun things about Alatreon to me was, you had all of those people that when Alatreon came out, they started going like, I could have totally beat Alatreon. The big problem is Eschaton Judgment because I mastered the fight. Like Eschaton Judgment is literally the only problem of that fight. And Chaos Slayer's like, I don't want to use Element. I'm not going to use Element. I'm going to long shell this bitch to death.
Literally,
and I'm gonna die twice, and I'm gonna just keep coming back and do it again. And I was like, exactly. If you actually master the fight, you would have done what Chaos Slayer did instead of bitching on the internet.
Literal
like a little baby.
Let him know, dude. I have a point about later on where we're gonna bring this up again. So I'm gonna save it for then.
Yeah, it's an actual protest against like elemental shelling.
Yes.
It's a protest against people who just say, I will make one blast build throughout the entire fucking game, use it, refuse to adapt, which is the core of Monster Hunter, and then they cry. And if I'm gonna say this now, and I will say this later again, and I said this also in my Armored Core video, if you bitch because you can't beat the boss, it's not that the game's bad, it's because you suck. You gotta learn, okay? Adapt. But we'll go into greater depths because later on I have it all ready. But
just for reference, my answer to the question would have been Base Monster Hunter World.
Base Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
Like if I can ask why.
Because I like the gameplay pacing of World better because Iceborne, if you truly were like min-maxing and grinding, you already know it's like, okay, is he enraged? No? Okay, jump on his face, slap him twice, slam him into a wall, That's kind of like the gameplay cycle that you would go through. Some weapons be like, okay, I have to make sure that I tenderize this spot. Luckily, as a Gunlance, I didn't have to deal with that. I was like, I don't care about tenderizing. I shell.
The one good thing about our weapon, Gunlance bros stand united.
But then you have to deal with friggin' that was the other thing about Iceborne, friggin' Wyvern Fire. What was it called? Wyvern Fire Blast? No,
Yeah, the wyvern
Steak.
shelling. No,
Wyvern Steak Blast. That's the name of it. I was like,
which you know,
never do that again, please. Never again. Ever.
I remember
I will take heat gauge back before I take that thing.
I've been playing Gunlance in my playthrough of Ward, and apparently I just learned the other day that scales depending on how many ammo you have in your slinger.
Oh, yes.
Which is a stupid thing to do, because on top of being the most skill demanding weapon when it comes to like actual skills to put in your armor, you put on top of that something that you have to optimize even more. I don't know.
And the interesting thing would be like, you know how Dragon is considered like this top tier slinger ammo? Not for Gunlance, because it's the one that gives you the least amount of time on
you gotta get rocks.
Blast.
You gotta get rocks.
You might as well get rocks. It's about the same duration.
And you can look forward to putting that shit on a monster after 5 attempts, and then you know what? The monster just decided that it's gonna stand up, like Fatalis did to me, and it made me fucking cry, because I put that shit on his head, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna go to town, and then he just stood up, and I'm just like, okay,
yep, exactly.
Cool.
He
Thanks,
just
man.
completely invalidates your weak spot, which kind of sucks, but yeah.
Just Gunlance things, you know. We get one buff followed by 3 debuffs, kind of like the fucking.
Hey, at least they messed up and gave us sneak attack. I'm pretty sure that was a mistake.
Oh yeah, that was not intentional at all.
That was definitely a bug. I saw clips of that. That's definitely a bug.
Because it's like when you look at it, every single skill that says attack power never works on
with shelling,
except for sneak attack, and you're just like, that was a mistake, wasn't it?
It was when Chaos Slayer was talking about it. He's like, oh, I think this is a bug. I was like, shut up. What if they learn? What if they know? Like, keep it the way it is.
It just lists all the weapon except Gunlance.
Inevitable Monster Hunter talk. We're definitely gonna have to talk about this some other point. Now, for that juicy Armored Core talk. Now, a lot of people would start with the campaign, with the mechanics. Not in this channel, because we talk about the real important things.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about them characters, and we're gonna start off by asking, because I know you haven't played all 3 playthroughs, but you have all the tools you need in your mind to answer this question. Air or All Mind?
Air.
My fucking guy. Let's go. Let's go. Get bent, Duplex.
She saved us. Come on. Like, what's even the argument? She saved us straight up.
Okay, no. I do like Air a lot, but All Mind, I don't know. I also really like the AI vibe that All Mind has. Is pretty fucking cool. And also the fan art you find on internet. All Mind is way better.
Rule 3.
Bullshit. No. Bullshit. I'm an expert on this field. You were capping.
I'm just saying I like office ladies, and All Mind just fits that niche. Therefore,
anyway, so your opinion is wrong, and I can say that because
no, but listen,
there's
another reason why I also like Air, and this is funny because when when we were analyzing trailers for Armored Core 6 and all that stuff, because you're trying to get like a repertoire of videos established before the game comes out, and I'm like looking at every single detail on the trailers, and I'm thinking up all types of theories, and I'm like, I think that the what's the name of the substance? Coral. I think that Coral is going to be sentient. And everybody's like, "You're crazy! No. Everybody needs to watch Vati Vidya. Forget this guy." And everybody should watch Vati Vidya. Don't get me wrong, but I said Coral was going to be sentient, and everybody laughed at me. And I'm that petty. I'm coming back, and I'm like, "I told you." And I want my goddamn recognition.
Now, to be fair, I didn't know what Coral was gonna be. I thought at first it was gonna be some sort of giant battery that hidden in the system, like hidden within Rubicon. But no, turns out it's a completely different thing. By the way, we can talk all spoilers here. So until NG, so we're not gonna talk about NG and ++. So that kind of stuff, second and third ending, we're not gonna talk about. But everything before that is fair game. Now, when I was looking through. Because here's the thing, Rokan, you don't know this yet, but All Mind broke my heart. She fucking catfished me.
Okay.
And I'm salty about it, and I can't go much into depth about it, but she lied to me, and she catfished me, and then I just came running back into
However,
Air's coral arm. No, not however. She's a
no,
bitch.
no. You have to also consider that.
And she
wait,
lies
Rudy,
to you, and she
what
uses
ending
you.
did you get for your first playthrough? So I know what I can say and what I cannot say.
My ending,
Yeah.
I helped Air,
Mm.
so I killed
Okay.
Carla.
Okay, so I can just say that Air, it's also like I don't really like her as a character in the first place, because it does kind of sound like she's just hanging. Like I do like her, but at some point it feels like she's just tagging along because it's convenient for her, and especially in one of the endings where you just, let's say you don't decide to help her, it just sounds like she's being petty about it, and she just
Petty about it, homie.
Yeah.
She's protecting the planet.
I know,
and you
but
say that's petty.
nah.
Are you joking?
Listen,
I stand with
Air,
I stand
listen.
with fucking Walter.
No, listen,
silence wench, silence wench.
Air,
I stand with
let me just run this by you, Air. How about I eradicate you and everybody that looks like you and all of your family and friends and everybody you've ever known? How about I just get rid of all of you? And she's like, wait, maybe let's not do that. And you're like, you're
Petty.
so petty, Air.
Petty.
You're
Glory
so petty.
Glory to
You're
the
not
hounds
letting-
of
You're not letting me
glory to
commit
the hounds of
genocide? Like what?
glory
what?
to the hounds of Walter.
I just want to
Feed the
genocide
fire.
your whole people. Like, come on. Is that such a big deal?
You just like All Might
No,
because
no.
you have mummy.
You're gonna
issues,
make a
admit it.
scene over
I
this,
do.
Air?
I do.
Really?
Literally that. No.
See,
no,
Ark,
it
I'm
just-
getting
no.
to your point. I'm liking Italians less and less.
Okay,
See,
okay,
I
no,
told you, it makes sense.
Even jokes aside, the ending where you do help Air, I don't really like it because you do nothing essentially.
Yeah,
You just
exactly.
prolong-
The ending where you do help Air, I will come to your defense there. The ending where you help Air,
you do nothing. It literally,
it literally is the entire game for nothing. Like
no, I love
you've
that.
just
Even
delayed everything.
even Air, just like it's like, okay, what will this do? What will this do?
Yeah,
to,
what are
to
we
the
doing
future? It's
now?
like, I don't know. We're just gonna figure it out as we go. And I'm like, okay, that's why I like the third ending way
It's
more
a
because
pretty-
it feels
it's-
more like a conclusion.
I mean, that ending is kind of like, it reminds me of just setting fire to the world tree, and to the Earth tree in Elden Ring, where you just choose violence for the sake of choosing violence, which
Fuck yeah.
I can get myself behind on a good day.
No, not even no, because you're stopping like that. What at least Walter tells you is that, okay, if you don't burn coral, that shit is gonna expand, and we don't know what it's gonna do. It's gonna be like nuclear threat for the entire galaxy, right? And so it's like, okay, yeah, that's a fair point, and I just set that bitch on fire.
So, instead of let's figure out what we're gonna do with this, your idea is
Arson.
like, well, let's let
Arson.
let's
Make
just
chaos
burn
take over
everything
the
down.
world.
It's
No, you know what? I'm glad I
it's
finally
the old-
got.
It's the old thing about oh, what is that thing? I don't know it. I don't understand it. I should probably kill it.
No.
You know, listen,
My-
The problem is that he understands it and he still does it. That's the
my,
problem.
My favorite ending is the third ending, which I won't spoil. It's the Game Plus Plus ending because it feels like what Air wants to do, but done properly.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not
That is the
half-assed.
best ending. That is the
See,
best ending, in my opinion.
the way that you look at this duplex, it reminds me of an American friend of mine. We were playing No Man's Sky together the other day, and we just find this really big creature that we needed to find for this expedition we were doing. And it's just an unusually large creature, like larger than most creatures that you would find. And so my friend's like, okay, I scanned it. Did you scan it? Yes, I scanned it. So we got the achievement. We're all good. And he's like, yeah, you know what? He's pretty big. I think I want to kill it.
That's me. That's me, baby.
Why would you do this? Like for no reason. He's like, I think I want to kill it. Like, why? Because he's big. I think I should kill it. And he killed it for no reason.
It's the Roman conqueror blood in my veins that's pushing me to.
See, I told you, Italian people are evil. Evil. Nah, dude. I'm glad that finally someone comes along. Listen, All Mind, she lies to you. She uses you without you even knowing it. And then she dumps you on the side of the road. And then she picks you back up again. She's an abusive ex-girlfriend. Air, she can get the pile bunker any day, okay? She can get the pile bunker any day of the week.
What are you saying? What's that supposed to...
Everyone knows what I'm talking about. Let's not
What do
pretend.
you mean? What's that? You're gonna tell me you don't understand? You can get the pile bunker any day? Come on, it doesn't get any more straightforward than that.
No, but I get a lot of shit because everyone apparently in my community is on Duplex's side. They love All Might.
No, I also like. There's also a lot of elements that I like. If you do stuff in a specific order. I watched that clip the other day where if right before the ending of New Game Plus Plus, you just do all the tutorial mission, just all mines comes up and you're like, why do you do them right now? How the fuck did you go through the whole game without doing them? And I don't know, it's kind of a cute thing to see. I like it as a character because it's the AI, but it's also a bit silly, which I like.
Okay, well, we'll agree to disagree. I prefer Air.
We agree to disagree.
Like I said, Air can get the pile bunker any day of the week, free of charge. Now, the next one is
but all mine serves all mercenaries.
Yeah, she serves them. I can't, I can't talk.
She belongs on the street.
She belongs to the street, man. She serves all mercenaries. While meanwhile, Air's sticking to you and you only. She could have gone for any other pilot. She could have gone for Rusty. She couldn't have gone for Michigan. She went for you. She could have gone for the original Raven. She went for you, and she stuck with you. She loyal.
Best girl is Rusty. Okay, there we go.
Rusty. Because my next thing here is V4 Rusty or Gun 1 Michigan.
Oh man, no, that's dirty. Dude, that's so dirty. You can't ask me that. No, that's not right.
I have to.
I refuse to choose. That's not right. Not even Rusty. The game makes you choose that.
Rusty, definitely fucking Rusty.
Or maybe it does. I guess I don't know. Not.
I don't know. No. I don't think.
But it's like
if I had to choose, betraying them both.
If I had to choose between those two, it's like, sorry, Michigan, I love you. I think Michigan might even be my favorite character, but Rusty is my boy. I'll go with Rusty.
I think I have to go with Rusty as well, purely because when you learn Rusty's purpose and what he's there for, even if he's hanging with the lamest crew out of the
that's what I was about to. I was going to bring that up. I was like, Jesus. I can't believe that Rusty's like a really cool character hanging out with the friggin' Vespers, dude. The first chance I got to snipe a few of them off, I was like, yep, this is not even a choice.
Deserved. Take it.
You're going to go down straight up.
I would have done it for free. You don't have to pay me.
What was the other guy's name? Pater? Pater was about to like be promoted with something. No, Pater ain't getting no promotion.
No, ain't getting anywhere. You ain't going anywhere. For me, like, when I got the chance to finally, like, because everyone knows what fucking Vesper 2 does. Snail. That motherfucker. That
Snail.
guy.
Yeah, Snail.
He attacked me personally.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
After I beat, like, the hardest boss in the game for me, which was, I don't know, like, what, Ibis Series 240, something like that. The one that
Ibis Series.
In the Institute City.
That was so funny for me because... I saw everybody getting upset at that boss. Like, oh my god, this boss is so hard. Oh my god. I had a friend of mine tell me, like, bro, if I knew that it was gonna have a boss like this, I wouldn't have even bought the game. I was like,
okay, no, not that far.
I was like, listen, double gats, needle guns,
go for
it. You're just stunning.
I was because I played bipeds my entire playthrough, and when I went over to her, I played the fight completely wrong. And I'm enough of a man to admit that. I played
it wrong too. But
I was playing her wrong for ages. It took me like 15 tries, so I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna let her come to me. I'm gonna let her come to me, and when she sits down for 2 seconds, I'll pile bunk her. And then that's exactly how you play the fight. Like, if you chase after her like a mad dog, you're gonna die. Unless you're some sort of I couldn't do it. Not with my AP. Not with my AP, man. Me and my little chicken legs.
Big old tank treads are so beautiful. And there's one thing that frustrates me, though, because apparently for the first time in my life in a video game, I picked something that is actually pretty powerful. And everybody was like, oh, here comes Rurikon coming in with easy mode build. I was like, bro, I've been talking about tank treads since so long.
That's not easy game mode.
I play Tetrapod, and beating her with Tetrapod is like, I don't think I've ever beaten it with Tetrapods because like it's way too hard because she's way too fast to keep up.
She's really fast, but like with tank treads, regardless of the type, as long as you're ground based, you got the advantage.
Yeah.
And if you can even if you're like a good player, you can even learn how to like do the drift shit, which I see people play, which is insane. I don't know how they do it because like it takes timing and whatnot, and I don't have the brains for that. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there with my bipeds chasing after the Ibis series. Meanwhile, it's just like chucking fucking paper airplanes at me, just laughing at me. And then it just comes in and finishes me off. And when I killed it and I realized that it had a second phase, I had like this heart-sinking feeling. And so I finally beat it after God knows how many times. And then here comes Dickhead himself with a fucking needle launcher and puts me out of commission. I was like, I don't care what it is. I don't care about anything else about this game. The goal is kill him. under any
I
circumstances.
love how it doesn't even hit you. It just hits the water and somehow gets you, right? Just like I tanked through like 5 of them while fighting him, but just hits once the water, and you're like, I guess my AC doesn't work anymore. Fuck it.
Yeah, if your AC is wet, it gets into the circus, I guess.
He was using a special stun bullet. No, he was using sleeper darts. That's what it was. It was a sleeper dart on the needle gun. Like, he got you with it.
And then he talks about it like he's all big. I hate Vesper too. Snail, he's a dickhead. But like,
fuck Snail.
It felt so good when I got to fight him in the arena. I bullied him so hard. It was disgusting. I was hey guys, check this out. I was like, oh, just put these grenade launchers in my hands, grenade launchers in my back, and there's nothing.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? And it's like
get blown up.
But Rusty is the only guy in the
Rusty's
Vesper's
so
crew
based.
that is acceptable.
No, even V1. V1 is pretty fucking cool. What was the name of V1? V1.
Isn't he the king or whatever, or is that?
No. King is V3, I think. V1 is.
I forget which one is V1.
I don't think V1 is king because I think King isn't an independent merc. I think he's an independent one because I think he worked with Raven at some point, like the original Raven, not us.
V1 is Freud, right?
Freud, there you go.
Oh yeah,
Freud. I don't even remember him.
Lore-wise is so fucking based. He's like this guy that has no augmentation whatsoever. He just likes fighting so much that he becomes the strongest pilot ever, which is
pretty cool. It's a shame that he mixes himself with the wrong crew.
I love it because he shits on Snail because Snail has so many augmentation, but he never can catch up to like Freud. So he just. I like it as a character.
Listen, this is just an abusive ass relationship group. Like you have a dude at the leadership that is making it's like what's the name of that film? The Platform on Netflix where it's like a bunch of people in prison with different levels and everyone just shits onto the bottom level. Yep. That's literally the Vespers. Like they just hate each other for no reason. And meanwhile,
it's okay. I hate them too.
Exactly. If you'd be in there, you had to hate them and yourself. I only hate.
And then you have Rusty.
And then you have Rusty, exactly.
That was the thing that made me really sad because like I got really excited in that mission where Rusty comes back, and I was like, oh my god, Miyazaki's giving us like a good conclusion, and I was like, wait, he's gonna martyr him, isn't he? God fucking damn! Like I called it at the start of the mission. It was like this thrill of emotions, a roller coaster where I'm just going like, oh my god, it's a really cool conclusion. It's gonna be a happy ending, and I was like, no, he's gonna martyr him. Yeah, never mind.
Come on, man. Did my boy dirty?
Yeah, they did do Rusty dirty, dude.
Because like he was up. Dirty.
He gets killed off camera.
Off camera, that's the problem.
How are you gonna murder my man off camera? Like,
I'm upset it's off camera because like
you should have seen it. I agree.
A cutscene or something.
He comes back in like a different AC. You're like, let's go. It's time for the boys, and then he dies. Like it was heartbreaking. And then at the end of it all, who's there to make it worse? Snail. Again.
Snail.
No, that mission is worth it just to hear Snail cry at the end of it. As soon as you beat him while he's in like the Baltius form, it just makes this scream and it's
get this fucking guy out of here.
Get this guy out of here.
Get killed. But the thing was by then I was using like my new tank treads, which you get a new one that just looks like the Batmobile from the Michael Keaton movie.
Oh, the ones that people used to float, the surfboard.
Yeah,
that's what I call
it. I love that one, dude. I don't really do PvP at all because like I would get completely rocked. I'm too old for PvP. Okay, I ain't got them Twitch reflexes them kids nowadays have. Although if I was on PC, which I'm not, I'm on PlayStation. If I was on PC, I would fight Cowboy just to show him who's the man. But
I've been doing a ton of PvP, and we can. I'm definitely gonna be coming back to talk to you guys about our builds because I'm very curious. Right?
Fuck yeah!
And there's 2 reasons, and I'm not gonna reveal them. I'm gonna be doing this like the Armored Core narrative, where I'm gonna be twisting shit as we go. But like, bottom line, like, listen, I'm not gay, but Rusty would be squeaky clean after I'm done with him. That's not a problem. And everyone here is wrong. Chatty's actually the best option.
True.
Chatty stick.
Carla's AI.
Chatty Stick is such an abusive little shit, dude. That when you fight that guy, it's like with the fucking wheelchair legs,
that fight drove me insane because Carla's AC is my fucking nightmare. She's a missile spammer.
What do you mean?
No, wait, no.
You see her. Because you see her in the first. You see her in the first playthrough. She has like
and I killed her. Remember? Because I did the air ending.
Yeah. I got confused between the two. My bad.
But for me, dude, like props to you for looking out for that, dude. But I'm just like, dude, when I saw Carla and Chatty, I did it in the second try. Like I did it second run because I was just like.
No, I think it was out of the second or third for me. Yeah.
Because for me, it wasn't too bad. Because like the thing is, my entire build was I'm impacting you. So the current build that I have. Because I refused to use dual Zimmermans for the longest time, and I still do.
I didn't use that.
Yeah,
I basically just used one Zimmerman, the Pulse Blade, Songbird, and a Pile Bunker. So
where does dual Gats come on the cheese-o-meter?
Very, very low. People talk about it. People talk about it like it's really OP.
They're strong, but they're not OP. They're strong. They're good.
They're only good if you can stick to the enemy. That's the only way you can make them good.
The dual Gats was like okay, I'm tired of trying. Now I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna bring in my dual Gats.
In PvE,
dual Guts are sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go on, Duplex. You say.
Dual Guts are great for like finishing a level, but they cost so much ammo. So by the end of the mission, you're not gonna get an S rank or stuff like that. They're good to get through a level, and I think that's the purpose of the dual Gats.
They're a lot of fun. They're like,
but they're very fun.
Dual Gats is ridiculous amount of fun, and people who cry about them in like stuff like PvP or say that they're busted, I completely disagree. Because like, first of all, if you're using dual Gats and you're not using like the wheelchair or the tank threads, you're just gonna get stunned, because you have to stay on top of the enemy. You won't have enough altitude stability to outlast most weapons out there, and you will get stunned, and you're just not going to get to do anything. And even say that if you do have dual Gats tank treads, I can just outfly you. The range on the Gatlings are not even that good. Even with a biped that isn't, you can outfly it.
That was actually something that Cowboy had to teach me, because I remember I was having troubles in the Spider, because usually what I would do is I would go through a mission. And, I'll like kill the boss through the skin of my teeth. But then I'm like, okay, now I want to figure out the puzzle and engineer my build in a way that would allow me to do this properly. And so I was doing all of these experiments on the Spider. And then I'm talking to Cowboy, and it's like, dude, this fucking Spider is annoying as hell. I had already killed it. It took me like, I don't know, 3-4 tries, something like that. And I was telling him, dude, this Spider is really annoying. Yeah, before it got nerfed.
When it had the fuck ton of health.
It got nerfed?
Yeah. When it got patched, and people say it got patched. It just got nerfed in my eyes. Because
it increased the vulnerability to a lot of type of weapons, I think.
So I was talking to Cowboy, and he's like, well, you just dual Gatling her. And I was like, what do you mean dual Gats? Everything ricochets. And he was like, well, get closer, idiot. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So then I would just like drive right up to it's like, oh, this is great.
But like, if you do that with a boss, like their hitboxes are massive, but then that goes for literally every single weapon. So when people talk about dual Gats being busted, I'm just like, you clearly haven't learned to play against it. Just like, you're probably the guy that got filtered by a boss of sorts, and then you said the game is bad. But long story short, going back to it, like, because we're talking about the Vespers, I'd hang out with the Red Guns any fucking day of the week, especially with Michigan. Yep. I'd make a showing club to stitch my mouth shut.
Gun 13.
I was like, yeah, when Handler Walter was like, oh, still call you 621, I was like, no, fuck that, call me Gun 13.
Yep,
Gun 13. I'm vibing with these guys. Iguasa was always a red flag, though.
Iguana.
Fucking
whatever
Iguazu.
You want to call him. Yeah, but like Michigan was always hella fun to listen to in the briefings and whatnot. Yeah. Whoever voice acted that guy did an outstanding job.
Oh yeah, dude.
I love that during the war mission he just cuts off Snail as he's doing the briefing.
Yep.
Yeah. Just like, let's cut to the chase, and he just starts talking over Snail.
That's the kind of guy that you would want to work for.
I've heard that like Michigan trash talks you if you go into the Iceborne mission without the Needler.
Yeah,
I never did that. But...
He basically calls you stupid.
Yeah, he calls you stupid.
and if you lose, he basically just turns around and he's like, "All right, well, Gun 13's not doing his job. I guess this mission is a failure." And I'm just like, Man, I'm trying. I'm
What do you
trying, man.
mean? Doing my best.
I love that. That mission is like one of the most cinematic missions that we've had in that game, and it's so well done.
So
Like
good.
I was
I think
completely blown away.
it's my favorite FromSoft boss because just the whole
Damn,
thing.
that's a statement.
Yeah. No.
Okay,
Like I
that's
know.
big.
I
don't know
know.
about that.
It's because I'm super into mech, so Armor Core just but purely
Yeah.
by designs. I love that. But also the fact that I don't know. It's the fact that all the corporations are working together. You have Rusty being a badass, like kilometers away, shooting the laser.
Chatty is in there. Who else?
Chatty's
who else
in
is
there.
in the
The
missions?
Chatty,
Snail is in
G1,
there.
Snail, and you and Rusty.
Yeah,
But
the thing about that mission for me is also that it reminded me of a scene that I really enjoyed from Evangelion. Don't know if you guys watched
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
The
Which-
one where Ray is in the back with the sniper.
Oh yeah.
No,
I think
she's got the
she's
shield.
the shield, and
Shinji
Shinji is with
Shinji
the
has
rifle.
the sniper. Yeah, that is really cool, especially
Yeah.
when the angel finally fires back and she just gets in, the shield's all melting, she's boiling inside.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
really good.
Yeah,
And
dude.
This kind of gives me similar vibes to that, as you're like, you bring it down and Rusty just goes like, I won't miss.
Miss.
Boom.
Oh yeah,
It's
like
so
and
good,
in that
dude.
final bit where he's like, I'm revving it up 100%. If I miss
Yeah,
the
yeah.
shot, we're fucked. And I'm just in there like, I trust this guy. If there's one dude in this crew that I trust, I mean Michigan's dead, so it's not a problem. But like, but I'm just like, I trust you, Rusty. Please let
Michigan's
this
not
shit.
here anymore.
I
so-
love one small details that as he's charging up the rifle, his voice gets distorted because of the interference of the waves.
actual weapon.
And you can
It's
see
so cool.
you can
the
see in
light.
the distance the light as he's charging it up too. It's like there's so many little details in that mission.
Yeah, that's why I love it, and it's one of my. I wouldn't say maybe my favorite boss, but one of my favorite bosses.
It is.
And
because
the audio mixing also shows you how important audio is, because I think
Yeah.
audio in
Oh,
games is,
yeah.
a lot of times it's underestimated how important it is.
Oh
And
my god.
right there, the absence of all audio is like all of a sudden, okay, here it comes, all audio gone. Boom! It's
Yep.
beautiful, dude.
And
God
you see,
damn.
and the way that the worm flinches, almost as this,
Yeah.
if it's organic, I was just like, dude, genius,
It's
absolute
so hype.
genius.
It's such
and
a hype moment.
I will talk about like bad takes later, and I think you,
Ooh.
because you
Holy
picked up on
shit.
something, that
did?
actually is that I was gonna bring up, which is audio. But we're talking because
Okay.
Duplex here is a composer, so man knows what he's talking
I'm
about.
studying
when it comes
sound
to
engineering as well, so
and so he's the one that we basically want to talk to. Just a couple of like final points on the characters. What do we feel about Handler Walter? Because a
Love
lot
him.
of people dislike him, but I
I
think
love
that
him.
hatred is misguided.
Conflicted feelings about Walter right up until the end. In the end, I was like, "All right, Walter, you're all right." It was funny because I have a friend of mine, Pally Time. His name is Walter. So in the beginning of my playthrough, I would just call Walter Pally Time. all the time. Sure thing, Pally Time. Let's go. Let's do the thing.
Yep, no questions asked. It was more of the fact that he's like throughout the campaign, he stopped seeing you as just an asset, and he starts like saying, you can do it. Like when you're fighting the Ibis series in the Eastern 2 City, he's really hyping you up, and you can hear again, like really good voice
emotion.
acting. You can hear the emotion.
You can actually start hearing emotion by those points, but not just that. When you also do, after you get captured or whatever, and they take you out, and you have to take the junker, it's like, oh, I guess Walter just had this whole thing prepared for us.
Yeah,
in
I
case
was just
something
like,
went wrong.
who
It
is
was
this guy? How the fuck did he plan for this?
He just
he
knew
knew
somehow.
everything. He had all the plans done.
I was like, that's it. I'm gonna be forced to join the Vespers. I'm gonna
I was neutral about him for like most of the playthrough, but then when you reach the ending and it's like you found a friend, I'm just like, you can't say
dude,
that to me.
And he's like,
on.
I can see her next to you, and I was like, oh damn, Walter, I'm
Damn.
sorry.
I just
bad.
listen. I piled bunkered him because I was like, it has to be quick and easy. I don't want him to suffer.
The fact that this man has like for his whole life just had this mission, but it then stops because he sees you have a friend, you have a purpose. Nah, that's fucking. It was
heartbreaking, dude.
It's heartbreaking, but it's
Yeah,
very
that
good
was-
writing.
That was one of the things that I thought was interesting because I saw a lot of like terrible takes about people saying, "Oh my god, this game doesn't have a story." I was like, "Motherfucker, I haven't even done the other two endings. How can you say that? Are you insane?"
It's because unless stories
people
are
no longer-
spoon-fed to people,
Yeah, they need to be like spoon fed. It's like, okay, here you go. Here's your little
Your
little
cutscene.
bib.
here's the
Here's your little
bad
bib,
guy,
and
here's the good
here
guy.
you go. And it's like, oh my god, dude. It's like, no, it's
It's
such
like-
a good story.
It's almost like people almost don't like character development at this point. Like Handler,
Yeah.
it's like I said, a lot of people that dislike Handler Walter, they're incredibly petty because they're like, oh, this guy's put me in a burlap sack and turned me into a pile of like spaghetti so that I can
Yeah.
use the fucking mech. But I'm just like, there's a reason. Like nobody just does this. There's a proper reason to it. So from the beginning, I was like, who is this man? Like, why is he back here?
I was suspicious of Walter the whole time. Like the whole time, I was like, I don't trust you.
Why am I the only mercenary here that's not registered?
Yeah, this is kind of weird, Walter. You're doing some shady shit. But then by the end, you're like, oh damn, dude, hells.
Yeah, it was all a means to an end. I think it was when you fight the real Raven, and he has his own handler, or like whoever you want to call it, and Walter is just like, yeah, it doesn't matter, and I'm just like, yeah, it does. This guy's come after my ass. Who is this man? He did my mission. He tried to kill me. Walter, what's going on, Walter? We need to, like, you know, we need to form a little bit of a safer work environment. But he was but on the notes of like campaign, because this is where we're going to spoil the territory for the first ending. Second and third are not even going to be mentioned. But what did you feel about the length of the game itself? Because I know you still have a ways to go, Rukon, but I'm curious as to how you feel, because a lot of people said
Like,
there were too many missions. Some people said there were too few.
so to me, I felt like it was just right, because even if I was to never touch the game again, which is not going to be the case, but if I was to do that, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. Because the thing is, I think a lot of people nowadays have this notion that, oh, look, I've spent, I don't know, it was 60, right? This game was 60, I think. It's still not going after the 70 bones like everybody else.
60.
Yeah. So people are like, okay, I've spent $60. I expect to get 60 hours. That's never been the way that I look at it. However, I will also say I understand that viewpoint, because naturally, you know, you only have so much money. You expect to get a certain amount of hours out of a video game. I think that's reasonable, but that's not me. I'm the guy that spent like $60 on Vanquish. I don't know if you guys played it. Played it once, finished it in 12 hours, loved every minute of it, and wouldn't changed it for the world. To me, it's more about the quality of the experience rather than how much time I spent playing it. So I felt like it was perfect, especially because it didn't feel like it was padded, which is a bigger problem that a lot of games have sometimes, is that they will pad stuff.
Just filler
and
stuff.
Just like, here's more filler missions. This, like, no, I have this thing that needs to be told. You're going to do these missions, and you know, then it's done, and then you can do New Game Plus, and there's more. But I feel like the length was actually just right for the type of game that it is.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree, because especially I think the point where I get the most shit for is when I say that the Resident Evil remakes are fine, but people are like, oh, they're too short. The beginner one, like the original, took so much longer, and I said, yeah, but they redesigned
because
the game.
you didn't. But it's also because you didn't know how to play those games back then. I think that
True.
If you were to go back to the original Resident Evils and you played them, you'd fucking swipe through the game in less than 10 hours easy.
I can't really say too much about that because I don't really play Resident Evil that much. It's not really my kind of game. But I would definitely say that, for instance, when something like a Dark Souls, for the first time that I beat Dark Souls, it was probably like close to 60 hours. Now it'll probably take me, I don't know, 12 if I'm just like rushing through, getting stuff and whatnot.
Like,
it'll probably take me more because I'm that guy. It's like, there's a shiny over there. I know that it's something that I'm never going to use and I'm not going to need, like a divine, what's it called? Divine blessing. I'm still going to go pick it up and add it to my inventory and never touch it, but I need to pick it up.
I need to have it.
I need it.
That's me. It
might come in handy at some point.
Also,
not all
games
called loot goblin mentality, and I suffer from it as well.
Not all games have to be.
Go ahead.
Not all games have to be like giant open world games, right? Like,
yes.
Sometimes it's good to have like a different story-based game that it's just like 40 hours. You go through it, you enjoy it every single minute. It's good of it, and like even Elden Ring, which is great, like. Right, but one playthrough for me was like 120 hours. I don't have that type of time. And sometimes it's good to have these type of games that if you do want to come back to it and like to platinum it, I got like 70 hours in it, so it's super worth it, right? So if you do want to like fully master it and completely get to know all of the mechanics, you can. But if you just want like a quick experience, it's good to also have these type of games, right?
Yeah.
I think it's like
I actually think that Armored Core 6 does both, which is if you really want to have the more complete experience, you go through the New Game Plus, which will increase your gameplay time a little bit more. And there's also the PvP and all of that stuff. But if you just want to get like a quick fix, you go in, you play, you feel good, and it's done. It's fine.
Yeah.
I would put it as in, if you were to pick up the game and just play the campaign once, not play anything else, no PvP, no new game, I just think you'd still get your money's worth. Because I finished the first, well, I think it took me about 20 hours to get the first one done, and I didn't feel cheated. I was like, didn't know about the New Game Plus, knew about the PvP, but I haven't really touched it. So I was just like, no, this is a great game. This is a great game.
For me, I think it was 35 hours, but it was because I was constantly doing the whole thing of the puzzle, which is like every time that I would, I scraped by this boss, I was like, no, I need to figure out what's the solution, that I would change the build and go back and do it again multiple times.
Oh, it's like I told you with the Ibis series, I was just drained. After I was like, I beat it once, I'm never beating this thing again. But then I've gone back to it multiple times. In fact, just last night, I was streaming we were going over the script for the podcast, and I was like with Duplex, and I was like, okay, listen, I struggle with this boss, let me show you how I play him now. And it's super more accessible. But yeah, it's like you say, putting pieces of the puzzle together so that you can find a better way to beat it.
The first time that I beat like that one thing that's in it's like that big, how do you call it? It's not a tunnel, it's like a pit almost, where you're going down and shooting lasers at you.
Yeah. Infiltrate sector 1.
You know how I beat that the first time?
Fuck that.
It was hilarious. So it's like, because you have to time it, right? I figured this out afterwards. I even did like a special edit in that video to tell people, see, after I beat it, I came back and I was like, I timed it. And you could even see in my head in the recording, I was going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go. And there's and I was like going from platform. But the first time I beat it, I was like, what if I just go straight down?
What if I get these tank threads and I just fucking throw them down the pit?
And I did it, and I survived. You could see me just like going down, and the thing was just like shooting me with impunity, pound, pound, pound. And I was like, "Yep, don't care."
I got that attitude.
And I get to the bottom and I kill it.
It's so funny because you can then tell how different a playthrough is for someone that like plays tetrapods, tank treads, and someone with bipeds. Because I got that attitude when I was like 3 stories down. You know when you get that dialogue that says you can see it, just get close to kill. I was like, what if I just like boost and go straight down? Surely, like I have 2 more repair kits. I can do it. The first laser was enough to kill me.
I didn't even boost down. Okay, I just like let gravity take its course. Like, bow, bow. And it's funny because you're falling, but then it will hit you and stagger you, and you stop falling. And it's like, why did I stop falling?
Just put the controller down and come back like 2 minutes later.
No, but it's funny because you're falling and then it hits you. You're staggered. So now your mech is going to stabilize in the middle of the air. And I was like, how does that make any sense?
The game logic.
Funny.
I thought like on that as well. I thought that the mission variety was insane.
It's really good.
And I wanted to like ask you guys your favorite mission. With mine being, I'm a bit biased towards it. But my favorite mission would have been something along the lines of the Strider. Because when I fucking went in, and I was like, the fact that you get to go in, blow shit up, and leave. Like, the mission itself is quite fast if you just go through it, right? But the first time I was like, no. I'm wiping this thing clean. Not a bone left behind. That if I hear a voice of anyone firing a bullet, I'm coming for him. So that's what I did. It took me like a solid 15 minutes to beat this guy. And then you get to the eye, I defeated the eye, and then I was like, shit, this is gonna blow up. I probably shouldn't be on this. And I actually just kind of left last minute because I zoned out. I didn't hear Handler Walter like, yeah, you should probably get out of there. I was just sitting there like, yeah, we're cool.
Job's done.
Job's done. Where's the mission end screen? And Walter was like, you gotta get out of there. And I went, oh, shit. And so when I turned back and I saw the whole explosion and it crashing down, I was like, This is gonna be a great game. This is gonna be a great game, man.
It's really good. I think that when it came to me, the mission that it's like my favorite mission because I don't know if we're including bosses. It would have been the Iceborne because like that one would be really cool. But it's like one of the missions that I really like because I think I had one of the funniest things happen is the one where you go down into the there's like this icy thing and you have to go down there to pick up something or analyze some type of coral thing.
The coral convergence spot.
Everything starts exploding around you.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the hilarious thing that happened to me on a mission is like I'm trying to get away and everything's coming in at all times. I was like, oh, treasure over there. So it's like as everything's exploding, I'm like slowly flying my tank treads towards this treasure as I'm melting away. And I was like, gotta make sure to pick up the treasure and then run away still like last second.
Loot goblin mentality, dude.
Yeah,
I was a bit smarter because I said I'm going to check the whole place before I try to get out.
No, I was like, no, I should do it now when everything's exploding around me and I see that there's treasure over there. I need to go get that.
That's a great mission, honestly. There's like, there's some good gear that you can get because if you kill specific enemies in there, you can get. I think you unlock some good stuff. I think you unlock.
I forget. Like the gun you get from finding the treasure that I found, which is like the Nebula laser rifle, which is okay, but I like the other one better. I like the base one, the plasma rifle or whatever it is that shoots.
The Nebula
is
super powerful though.
The Nebula is good, but for some reason I like the other one better. I don't know if it's because it has more ammo or whatever, but I know that it had a characteristic that I like the other one better.
Duplex is good with energy weapons. I'm more of a kinetic weapon kind of guy, so I've been using rifles, pistols, shotguns. I just love the melee combat so much. And when I found out that they brought the moonlight to this game, I was like, oh boy. Hell yeah. And then I found out that there's like a different version and stuff, but you can get the moonlight and it's a great weapon. I was like, I want to rush to get the moonlight because when
part is that he's the one recording. Uh-oh. Are you okay? Oh crap, he's freezing up again.
I think I'm okay now.
Okay, I think you're okay.
Looks good, yeah.
Yeah, Steam just decided to download an update for Resident Evil 4.
Okay.
Good
Probably
timing.
not a good idea to have this open. Sorry about that little crap.
Don't worry about it.
But what was I was saying something along the lines of like, yeah, Duplex is the guy to go to when it comes to energy weapons.
Energy weapons.
But for me, I think it was either Iceborne, because of course Iceborne, or maybe the Swinburne assassination one, the stealth mission. For some reason, I know it's an odd pick, but I really like the mission because I play Tetrapod, so it kind of felt cool that for once my build was kind of like an advantage. Like I had an advantage because I could fly over every single enemy all the way to the point, and also the fact that after when you fight Swinburne, you can actually choose to talk with him, which I think it's pretty funny. He reminds me of Patches, which is always...
yeah, baby.
He is a very Patches-like character, which he stops. He's like, "Oh, I can help you. I can give you money."
Have you ever walked up to him without hitting him first?
Oh yeah. He goes like, "Wait, go back to your post," and he's like, "Oh wait."
It's like a Family Guy kind of comedy sequence where if you just walk up to him, he notices you and he's like, "Whoa, who the hell are you?" Oh wait, shit, I don't have an identification for you. And then he just starts hitting you.
No, I like him. He's a very fun character.
Climb the Wall was actually another really good mission now that I think
about it. True, Climb the Wall.
Climb the Wall is a blast, especially because that's when you get to like actually meet Rusty and whatnot.
Every single mission really with Rusty is one of the... As soon as he's on screen, he's just...
everyone's happy. As soon as we see the "Hey buddy," everyone's happy. Everybody's like, yeah. I was funny for me because I was just like, you were doing the dam mission, and then the red guns there is like, yeah, we're gonna go climb the wall. You're not gonna come with. What are you? You're just a fucking merc. We don't need you. And then comes to wall climbers, dead. all of them.
And I was like, in the corner of the map, just frozen to death.
Looks like you could have needed me here, buddy. I'm just saying.
You guys didn't climb the wall. It seems. Oh no.
Oh no. Anyway, I'm gonna work for your competitor. Have fun.
Yep.
That's also one thing I love about Armored Core is that like you destroy their base, just like raid them, and then next mission you're like, oh okay, Gun 13, come with us.
I find that so funny because like sometimes it's the same people that talk to you. And it's like, dude, I killed your coworker. How are you cool with this?
It's like they straight up normalize how corporations work in the future, and that is the bleak future that we're
yeah, dystopian brutalism. I love it. I love it.
You're just an asset.
You got money? Sounds good. Okay, let's talk.
Perfect. I mean, I love that about Armored Core. A lot of people said that, oh, this makes it so that the narrative it's not coherent. And I was like, no, it is.
It's
the point. It's literally the point.
This is the point. It's chaotic, where you never know what's going to happen next. And you never know who you're going to work for next. And that's the point. And like on that note, I want to ask for a least favorite mission. And I think Duplex and I share this one, which hurts.
Oh boy.
I mean, I don't even have to think about it. It's so easy. It's the one where you fight the spider, and it's not because of the spider, it's because of bullshit that happens before it.
The lasers.
Oh, I love the lasers.
No,
I love the lasers.
But see, that's a personal thing for me, where whenever there's a game that is kind of like pushing me, and I understand that at certain points developers we want to push you towards something, and I get it, but I fucking hate it. I can't stand it, and it is one of the reasons why I hate the Ringed City DLC. Well, hate is maybe a strong word. I don't like it. I don't like the Ringed City DLC because of that, and I didn't like the first Neo DLC because of that. It's because when they push you, like the Gundam Angels, I was like, bro, fuck this mechanic, okay? I don't like it. I don't care. And you go from the Gundam Angels to the Archers in the Bridge. This is like, bro, did you guys have like one track mind for this DLC? It's like the same thing.
When I stepped outside into the bridge, and I was like, let's do this. Before I could finish my train of thought, I got hit with a laser and died immediately. And I was just like, who the fuck brought Siren from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 into this game? Who the hell did this? Because I know what you're doing. And it's like, oh, the satellites. It's like, it's not a fucking satellite. I know what's up there. It's the Aegis. It's Mithra.
Yep.
I love the fact that like on my first playthrough I didn't get hit because I was lucky enough and I took it very slow. And I thought they would one shot you, right? So I was twice as scared. And I love that there's this pinging sound in your ear, and you're just like, you can hear it, you can feel it, like pressure, like putting pressure on you. And I don't know, I really like it as I like it as a mechanic.
Not to mention that it's kind of awkward jumping below the bridge on that little platform.
Yeah, I play Tetra, so I play Tetra, so I don't really care.
What I did was I got pulse armor. I put the pulse armor on me because then I could tank at least one hit. I fucking assault boosted to the end of the bridge. Took the hit. I did it like I did a Chaos Slayer style. I might get hit, but it doesn't matter. And then I just fucking continued going and praying that it worked. And then it did. And I was lucky enough to the point that you have a restart point when you're.
I wish I had done that.
No, dude. That I literally said, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna cross this. Not with my boosters and stuff.
The worst part is that the first time that I finally got to the other side and I was trying to figure out how to navigate it, I did it right and died anyway. So then I was confused, and because like I did it right, but I probably got in. So I baited the laser, right? And after they fired the laser, I go into the thing to try and just get to the point where I'm supposed to go. And I was either too slow or something like that, because another laser came in and hit me again and just slammed me. And I was like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do then? And I was just like experimenting for like half an hour or something, trying to figure it out. And then eventually I tried it again. I was like, oh, this time it worked? Like, that was some bullshit.
I just find it hilarious because, again, it just shows how, with a different build, something that was like meh for you can be extremely painful for someone else.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the game. But, like, on that kind of topic, how difficult did we find the game?
I didn't find it too hard. I mean, I didn't spend more than like 5 attempts on any of the bosses, I don't think. Well, maybe Baltius took me. Actually, I don't know. Yeah. You could probably see, like, if anybody goes into my videos, because I keep all of the deaths in there on purpose so that people know how long it took me. But yeah, I don't think I've wiped for more than 5 times on any of the bosses. And if I did, it might have been like one or two bosses. So I don't consider it too hard.
Same
I think the hardest mission, and the mission I bitch about the most, is defeat the red guns.
Yes.
And that's
yes, dude.
I think you chose to destroy to beat the Vespers.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Imagine going after the red guns.
Because I was in my second playthrough and I wanted to see the different option.
When I went,
dude, dodged a bullet or like more like 9,000 bullets. Because like holy shit, that mission.
That mission is like, imagine this, right? I put you against an army. You have no fucking respawn points, and after that, you have to face the one dude who you don't want to face, which is Michigan. He shows up at the end, and he's just like, yeah.
And he's got 3 repair kits.
Three repair kits. He has like, what was it? 3 MTs that are tetrapods. He has a fucking army of people around him, and you cannot lose, because if you lose, you start from the beginning, and like, and they come in waves. It's brutal, dude. It's brutal.
It's actually brutal.
And for my little speed build, speed in a closed area full of enemies that can stagger you, because even the MTs, they have like those. It's those specific cannons. MTs that have the cannons, and it's like when you hear 1 beep, it's cool. When you hear 5, it's concerning, because you're not gonna dodge them all.
It's not even 5. It just became white noise by the end of the mission. Beep, 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 beep.
It sounds to me like I would, for a mission like that, I'd probably go double plasma rifle and double plasma cannon, and just like spam all the buttons.
Yeah, so you just do giant.
Because the challenge of that mission is
Big
you
AOEs.
make a build that is good enough to deal with multitudes of MTs, big MTs like the tetrapods, and you also have an AC on top of it.
And you also have to have a lot of ammo, which is because it pans out for like a good 5 minutes, right? It's
More
not
than
like
that. 10 minutes at least.
10 minutes of just waves of MTs, and it's just like, I'm done with this mission. Like, every
fun.
time you start over,
it was fun. That mission took me at least like a solid 5 tries. Because I was sitting there like rearranging my AC multiple times. I was like,
it took me like 10 tries, I think. 10 to 12, 20 tries. I lost count.
Damn.
It's the most red gun mission you can imagine, because they are brutal. It's like the droids in Star Wars. They overwhelm you with numbers.
But the dialogue is worth it. The dialogue
is super worth it.
G1 is just...
I gotta do that one.
G1 is super... He's like... It's fun, because you're against the red guns in this mission, as you have been before, but then G1 is almost hyping you up. I'm not going to say exactly what he says, because I think it's good for it to experience that on the first time. But it's such a mixture of emotions, because I'm just sitting there like, listen, I don't like Wasu as much as the next guy, but everyone else is fine. I like the rest of the team.
I don't want to do this, man.
But yeah, that was the one mission as well that kind of said, after I finished, I was like, right, I'm putting the game down today. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna tell you, I can't do it.
I don't think I did any mission where I felt like that, where I was just like, oh man, I need to put this down. This is too much.
Listen, when you do this mission, you message me after you do this mission. You message me.
90% of them are fine, but this one, they just like FromSoft just suddenly woke up to like, okay, you don't get any poison swamp, but you get this mission.
Yeah.
FromSoft's like enough. Like it's time for the durability test. Okay. They really put you to your limit, because you can't just go ahead and spam everything, because you'll run out of ammo, and that happened to me multiple times. I said the exact same thing.
Not with the plasma rifle and the plasma cannons. It's not gonna happen.
I don't know if like Rurikon is just not. I don't think we're putting the amount of enemies you have to face.
I don't know. Maybe
not happening.
Or maybe
first tries it. Maybe first tries it, and he just like.
If you come back to me,
easy. Casuals.
If you come back to me and you say I first tried it, I'm never talking to you again.
No.
But yeah, this is a mission that you have to experience. It's very unique in the way that it challenges you. But I think overall, I don't think the game's difficult in the sense of
hard. It's it's good enough.
I think the situation is going to be, it's going to be hard for the people that they will like, oh, I like this gun. This gun is fun. I like the way it fires. I'm going to use this gun for everything. Those people might end up having a bad time depending on what that gun is.
Yep.
And I think that is where people will begin to struggle with the game, because the whole point of this game is like, oh, this is the challenge I'm doing right now. I better go into assembly and change things up and see what type of different configurations I should use. Now, I already limited myself somewhat by just like, no, I want tank treads. I don't care. It's like, oh, this would be way better with tetrapod. Well, too bad. Tank treads it is. Tank treads sounds good. So I did everything with tank treads, and that was a little bit of a challenge in some situations. Like there's that mission where you have the invisible enemies, and the first time you're going through it in tank treads,
that must be anything that gets you
terrible.
above the ground with tank treads must be just pure suffering.
Yeah,
because when you run out of energy, you just plop onto the floor, and
Yep.
sometimes you just don't have enough altitude stability to not get staggered. But I agree with you. I think that, I have a friend who bought Armored Core. He never played an Armored Core game before, and I said, listen, this isn't like Souls. Sometimes you have to get a different build. You can do it mid-mission sometimes. You have to think about it, like, buy parts. Yeah. So I told him this, and when he got to Balteus, he was struggling, and I was like, just buy the fucking bubble gun.
The bubble gun.
One gun is all you need. No. You don't need two. No. You don't need both of them. And he was like, okay, I'm not doing it. I was like, okay, you don't have to. But you need to know that this is the way that the shield will deplete. And this is the way that you stagger it. And then it got to, like, different missions as well, where he said, like, oh, altitude's a problem. Because he was playing with the reverse jointed, the lightest ones there are.
Yeah.
So I was like,
for a beginner, it's pretty fucking hard.
I was like, if you're playing a light build...
As a first playthrough, holy shit, I don't play reverse joints, and I played all Armored Core games.
Did you watch the event where Cowboy was playing tank treads and Ouroboros was playing chicken legs?
Yeah,
things did not work out for him. They're not going to work out for you either. Okay.
And that showcase when they pulled out the triple tank double Gatling, that was the funniest thing. Because I would panic if I saw that shit in 3v3. Yeah, I would freak out. I would be like, okay, well, this is going to be an experience. But yeah, I think the game difficulty, like we've been talking about throughout the episode today, I think it definitely...
For instance, you don't need the bubble gun for Balteus. I'm pretty sure I did it with double bazooka.
But the bazookas have high impact. That's the thing.
Yeah,
and just some people would be
taking
with
explosions.
Yeah, but people are just like, I like the assault rifle. The one that does the one that does 0 impact damage. I want to keep that.
Yeah. Have fun with that. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't adapt, it's and I think now this is a perfect segue into the point that I've been so just I couldn't wait to talk about this, but I put it towards the end, which is the bad takes and the lovable journalist reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I think I'm just gonna say it as it is. I think the three of us can agree on this. If you got filtered by the tutorial boss and he said something along the lines of the game sucks because the first tutorial boss is so hard and it forces you to use a build, you got filtered because you got a skill issue. And I'm just gonna say it as it is. The game ain't bad. You are.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem is that in that tutorial, in that first mission, they kind of teach you, oh, you can break the enemy and then you use your sword and it's going to deal a ton of damage. So everybody just tunnel vision is like, okay, so before I use the sword, I have to break him. And you ain't breaking shit with that assault rifle. You're not breaking anything. And so people are not using their melee weapon. And then they're like, it's too hard. It's like, have you tried hitting it with your big ass sword that deals the most damage
that you can charge as well, by the way, if you just hold the button.
Run right up to it and hit it with your sword. That's the tutorial.
The one thing that I will say to people's defense is like, oh, the boss goes out of bounds. I was like, your ranged bullshit, weapons can still hit bullshit. But like the thing is,
but
your missiles and your rifle can still hit it. But I do think it's annoying. But if you space the fight properly, he doesn't go out of bounds.
Yeah, but it's like I had that happen to me, and I remember I don't know if it was on the first try or one of the other tries, but I remember him doing that, and I was like, "Hey, what the fuck? You're outside bounds. That's not fair. I can't go there.
I was like,
I want to go there and hit you with my sword. This is some bullshit.
Get your ass back in here.
Yeah,
I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me."
Well, when you find him again in the story, and then you fight the helicopter again, and you're just like with the
that was a personal one. That was a personal one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was just like...
Don't you have to fight like 2 of them at that point, if I remember correctly? It's the foggy map, right? It's just one?
Yeah, the foggy map.
Yeah, it's the foggy one.
Jesus Christ, 2 of them is a bit too much.
Oh my god. That would be fun. That would be fun, though.
That would be fun, though.
He was... When I saw him again, I was like, so, how you been? I got these massive cannons now. Let me sing you a song, okay, with the songbirds. Like, stand still, and you ain't going anywhere this time. So, but yeah, if you got filtered by the tutorial boss, that's like, listen, how do I put it? struggling in a Souls-like, which I know people don't look. Armored Core is nothing of a Souls-like; it's its own thing.
It's
but
not.
if it's a game that it's made by From Software, getting the spanking is just part of the process.
Yeah,
it's
you're
just part of
supposed
the
to get
process.
slapped around a little bit to just get acclimated.
Dude, though, like Armored Core 6, I think one complaint that a lot of people have before we get into the bad takes, like one good take is that though Armored Core 6, it's not a game that I would consider unfair, the difficulty does spike. Because the point that a lot of people make is that, okay, good part of the first chapter or the second chapter is just defeating small MTs you kill with 2 hits, and then you show up and it's just Balteus, it's just Sea Spider, which it's quite a spike in difficulty compared to previous Armored Core, like Armored Core 4, Armored Core 4 Answer, 3, and stuff like that. The difficulty was more like progressive, and you would more build up to that, which it's something I do see, right? Like bosses are way harder than the standard stage, so I kind of see where people are coming from, right? At least on this point.
I see it as long as they don't present it and saying the stuff. I see it as long as people don't say, yeah, the game's bad for doing it.
No, it's not bad. It could be presented in a more, like, for example, I love Baltius because, like, what's the name of the guy that you fight right before him? The guy
something V some. No, it's not a V something.
It's
Vino
not.
or
It's
something
not
like that?
V. He has a very specific name because
He's an
Walter
independent
reminds
one.
him.
Yeah, is the red guy with the pulse gun. Like, that's a
Yeah.
perfect way to, like, showcase, oh, look, this is a pulse gun. It breaks through shields because it's a pulse weapon. You go and look at the weapon and see it's like, okay, it breaks through shield very well. You go and fight Baltius. Baltius has a pulse shield, so you're going to use the pulse gun. Perfect. Why don't we also have that?
My brain doesn't work like that. My
Yeah,
brain's
me
like
neither.
bigger explosion.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But
It's like the Team Fortress 2 engineer. If that doesn't work, just use more gun.
On paper, it's a good way to present a challenge. But for example, you find Sea Spider or find the Ibis series, which, like, it's quite the jump in difficulty.
I feel like the Ibis series, in a way, and I didn't even think about this, it just happened to me organically because I was testing out different loadouts. But, like, it makes sense because Ibis comes after the Ice Worm, which the Ice Worm is also a weapon that is let's say infected or possessed or whatever by coral, right? And they specifically say, look, the needle gun is specific to deal with this. It fucks with coral. And you're like, the Ibis is a coral weapon. Maybe bring the needle guns. And it's like, hey.
This is
it also makes sense.
You gotta have a little bit of brain, okay? You can't just like do the same.
My biggest thing is, like, I agree there can be difficulty spikes, but I also feel that when it came to Armored Core, a lot of people had that Alatrion mentality where they were just like,
too hard. Game bad.
I want to play with my blast build. Why can't I play with my blast build? Because change your build. This is that simple. And in this game, it's the same thing. It's like, hey, why can't I play with my double bazookas? I love double bazookas. It doesn't work for everything. You gotta
I'm just saying, FromSoft would have gotten way less complaints if, like, for example, they would have shown, like, let's say the invisible enemies that show up in the mission where you have to explore the grid maybe had a pulse shield. So you're like, oh, okay, how do I beat this shield? And you're gonna use the pulse gun. So when you see Baltius, you already know the tactics. Well,
but the thing is, I think I started to interrupt.
One of them does have a pulse shield. By the way.
That's true, right?
Yeah, the main one. I was about to say the main one has a pulse shield.
Yeah.
But the thing is not about, like, there is subliminal messaging that has to be implemented into games from software that FromSoft makes, which is the reason as to why I like him. Is the fact that I'm not spoon-fed the information. Sometimes I have to think.
I'm not saying spoon-fed, but more like linear.
I get you in making it a more linear thing, but maybe it's just because I felt it was okay because there's other ways around it. If it was really mandatory, right? Like, if a good example of it is Yorm the Giant in 3. You have to go get the storm, whatever it's called, the great sword, the storm ruler. Otherwise, you're gonna be there all day. You're gonna do minimal damage, but if you get the storm ruler, you can do it. There's nothing in the fight that tells you that when you walk in, you have to go and get it. But if you bother to read a couple of things before you go into Yorm, you will know that he has a sword that he keeps around him that is his weakness, and that's the first thing. Like, that was, and maybe it's because I had already played Souls-like before, but when I went into there, I was like, okay, so there is something. I went in, got pummeled, and I was like, oh, there's some information about this that I should probably revise. And so I went over it, and that's when I understood. But like, it's my preference when I say it. I think it's perfectly the way it is. I don't mind having a difficulty spike. I think that pushes you as the player to look for alternatives, look for different ways, explore the branch of the game more. Because the thing, which is, like Rurikhan said, having this mentality of, I like this build, this is the build that I will use, this is my comfort build. Like, sometimes you gotta get out of your comfort zone, and sometimes it has to be a shock combat.
I do agree.
It's about the game supporting it as well, which is an important thing. Not all games will give you the support that you need to swap your builds around. Like Lies of P is a perfect example of that, where it's like, oh, I'm playing strength build. Well, it's more challenging. It's like, okay, can I swap my build? No. Oh, okay. Whereas in Armored Core 6, it's kind of like, oh yeah, you can swap your build. You want to swap it right now? Right now, change whatever you want. Sell your weapons. It doesn't even cost anything. Like, because you get all of your money back. I was like, this is great.
That was the one thing going into Armored Core 6 that like just ignited a flashback, because I was sitting there reminding me of the times where I went into debt on the previous games.
Yeah, in previous games you would go into debt.
Oh god, no.
That's also why I say this, because like I played through basically all of the Armored Core, so like having like as a perspective, I'm imagining like, okay, back when I started playing Armored Core 3, there were like a lot of stuff that I would rather have changed, and so I'm kind of seeing it through someone that is new to the series perspective. I do see that a lot of things can be overwhelming. So it's also From Software, because I love From Software, but it's also From Software duty to make sure that the game flows well, especially considering it's low-key a reboot, right? It's essentially a reboot. So making it flow well for new audience, which is what this game is directed to, it's also an important step that they have to look forward to. They did it well. I'm just saying I may be a bit too worried about it, since I think it could have been done a bit better.
You want it to be as successful as possible so that they can keep making.
I just want more Armored Core, I'll be honest.
I want that Armored Core 7. That's a good point.
Even just 6.5, whatever, because they usually do 0.5 games, so...
It is one of those things to consider, because it clearly didn't sell like as much as your Elden Rings or Dark Souls, but it was never meant to. It's way more niche, and I actually like the fact that From Software is comfortable with making that choice. We're just like, hey, I'm gonna make this game because I want to make this game, and I don't give a fuck if it doesn't sell as much as the other ones, because we got money from the other ones. It's fine.
Exactly. That's the one thing that I fully respected, because when I remember seeing that trailer for the first time, I was like, when I saw the words FromSoft pop into the screen, I instantly knew what was going on, and I was like, "There's no fucking way, because there's no way anybody knows about what Armored Core even is. There's no way it got to this point." And listen, okay, some people do say that I'm on the older side. I'm reaching those 30s, but like, it's more of a problem of nobody fucking knew what the game was. Oh, Rurikhan, it's not a dig at you.
Emotional damage. Holy shit. Oh, I'm reaching up in those 30s. It's like, oh, it must be rough.
God, not being 40. Ugh. You got it's all up here, man. It's all up here. But
I agree. Keep going.
But what I was saying is, like, I completely agree with the point that this is why FromSoft is one of the very few developers that I will be biased towards. Is because I know that they aren't about profit. Like, they are a company. They have to make decisions to turn a profit. And so I'm okay with it. But they don't let that lead them. And as someone who has dealt firsthand with EA's fucking greed in multiple games, they ruined, and this is something that I have to get off my chest again. Star Wars Battlefront, the PlayStation 1 and 2 originals, are like my favorite games of all time. They're the games that got me into gaming. Yeah, you know exactly where I'm going with this, don't you? When they imagine my fucking emotion when they remade it, and they just, you know what? I'm not even going to talk about it.
All over it. Just like, hey,
that's a nice way to put it.
How'd you like a pink Darth Vader?
How'd you like a pink Darth Vader you can get after 300 hours of playing?
Do you guys know what I really like?
The absolute disrespect of the Star Wars franchise and the over monetization of it is like, bro.
And then they were like, I have people who says, well, but Battlefront 2 is okay now. Yeah, you're right, it is okay now. All it had to go through was terrible first sales, a pay-to-win system, which they delayed and then implemented anyway, and a shit ton of paid DLC that you don't even need. But you know
I
what? 5 years
made a
later,
ton of
it's a good game.
Made a ton of videos crapping all over that game. I'm not sure if EA is too happy with the fact that they gave me a code for it.
Good. Tell them louder for the people in the back, man.
It was actually funny because whenever you would say like, "Oh yeah, I got this code from EA," at the time it was called EA Game Changers. Now it's called Creator something. I forget what it is.
Program or something.
Yeah, but it's like every time that I would talk about, "Oh, I got this through Game Changers," people were like, "Oh, you're in EA's pocket," and I was like, "Yep," and that's why I'm gonna rip them a new one about Battlefront 2.
Good.
Makes perfect sense. Like, listen, my thumbnail was like from episode 7, you know, the scene where Kylo stabs on Solo.
Yeah.
And then I changed the lightsaber that shows up behind on Solo to have like a dollar sign on it.
Nice.
And then I put like, and on another thumbnail, I put like a tinfoil hat on Han Solo.
Yeah. A little bit of a side rant, because I do know that I have those Star Wars peeps around, but like anything excluding shit like The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, anything Star Wars after the original trilogy.
No, you have to exclude. You have to exclude one more.
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Yeah.
Rogue One also.
Rogue One was
you knew
good.
it.
Rogue
you
One,
knew
yeah.
it.
But anything that
good.
starts from that, like, listen, I
Yeah.
have no hate towards the towards the actress whose name I don't even remember who plays Rey, but oh my god, I fucking like my friend took me to the theaters to see. Which one is it? The last one? The Last Jedi? Is that the last one?
No, it's Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, there you
some
go.
bullshit like that.
And when you like, my friend had to
that movie
physically
is such
calm
a
me
piece
down.
of ass. It's such a garbage ass piece of shit. And
so
the funniest,
they put the sprinkles on it though. They're like, look, it looks so pretty.
He's alive because yes.
It was so,
literally.
It was so hilarious to me when they did that movie, because it was like, look, The Force Awakens was not terrible. Force Awakens to me was kind of like, oh, it's A New Hope. It's almost exactly like A New Hope, but with a different cast. It's almost the same movie. If you watch like the beats of the movie, it's almost beat by beat the exact same movie. So
it was a good enough hook.
Okay, I get it. Okay, it's not my favorite movie ever, but then again, I'm easy to content if you just put like the Millennium Falcon on screen. I'm like,
yeah,
it's a Millennium Falcon. But you know, other than that, you know, but then they come up with The Last Jedi, and I leave the theater screen, and I was like, listen, if I wanted to come and watch a comedy, I wouldn't have paid for a ticket to Star Wars. So I don't know what the fuck you motherfuckers think you're doing.
Just Marvel movie. Ironically, a Marvel movie.
It wasn't even a Marvel movie. It was a fucking comedy, and it was a bad one because it wasn't even funny. It's just shitting all over, it just shat all over Star Wars, dude. It literally did.
Luke,
like, oh, Yoda can suddenly cast lightning despite the fact that he's a Force ghost. It's like, excuse me? Can we just get like an army of Jedi and win everything ever?
That's kind of almost what happens towards the end. Isn't
it?
Like, that's almost what happens towards the end. And I'm just sitting there like,
it's so ridiculous. And then Luke dies like a fart in the wind. Like, you guys want to know something really funny? So there was this one time when I rewatched Rogue One, and I had watched it plenty of times, and I realized that the death of the droid, the assassin droid, the Imperial droid that had been reprogrammed for the rebels or whatever, that droid dies so that they can get the information.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? This was actually somewhat emotional. This was actually pretty cool. And I made a tweet, right? And in that tweet, I included Mark Hamill. And I just said, the death of the MK whatever droid was more emotional to me than the death of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi.
100%.
And Mark Hamill hit the like button on that.
Oh yeah, Mark Hamill's take, dude. He did not give a shit. His PR team was shaking in his boots. If you have any interviews, like, it's like when he talks about the lightsaber. He's like,
it's
Luke's
Jake
lightsaber.
Skywalker. Jake Skywalker.
The TikTok fuckboy. But no, it's like when he talks about the lightsaber for Luke, he's like, this weapon is his life. Like, it matters so much. It's perfect. It's everything that he has. It's all of his improvements. Like, the death of his family, everything rides upon this weapon. And then he just fucking throws it.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway, but Star Wars rants aside,
Yeah.
Moving on to the bad takes. Come on, I want to get fucking savage
Yeah.
on this.
We're getting side railed with Star Wars.
Yeah, we're
I could
getting
speak
side
about
railed.
Star Wars all day.
Yeah, no, because I know
Alright,
that
so-
I could rant about it for the whole
Some
day.
of these are
but-
comments on my channel. Some of these are reviews on Steam. I'm not gonna label which one is which. And I'll just kind of read them out for you. This one says, and I'll show them on the screen for people to see that I'm not making these up. Have you ever played any of the old AC games before? This AC game is for newbies, and it shouldn't be the game of the year. From Software has made an AC far from its original creations. It has bad music, lacking mechanics, and bad balanced weapons. You should look at older AC mechanics. Their music and their weapons store heck of it even be armored core in difficulty. I'm going to say it again. This game is for newbies. Now,
Damn.
aside
the
from
gatekeeping, bro.
the gatekeeping,
oh my god, my heart.
the one thing that just I cannot like it's stupid. Like there's angry emojis in this one as well, so you can tell it's a serious thing when someone puts angry emojis. But bad music.
The thing is, Armored Core community. It's so obsessed with the old school. Like for people that don't know, the old Armored Core had this very rock vibe to it, like actual like pure like 90s rock vibe to it, which is very cool. But FromSoft is not trying to do the arcade game this time. He's trying to do like a cool cinematic narrative game. So they still have Coda, I think is the name of the musician behind it, which did this super like cinematic synth mayhem of a soundtrack, which is crazy good. Though one thing, it's been equalized very bad, unfortunately. They wanted the sound effects to be louder for gameplay reasons, and so it's really cranked down in volume.
That was one of the things that I talk about in my review, and I almost, to me, it felt almost like it was intentional, wherein they do something with the soundtracks where they lower the volume and they increase the bass, and it almost feels like it's on purpose because it makes it feel very oppressive.
Yeah.
It just goes like,
it feels like the music
crushing down on you, and in a way, I get it. I get that maybe they're going for a vibe, but it did get to a point where sometimes I'd be listening to that music for a while and I was like, I need to take a break. Not because of the intensity of the gameplay, but just how oppressive the music feels.
I mean, that's the point, but...
Yeah, I get it. I get that that's the point.
It gets it's too much. Yeah, I get it. But also the thing is, like, if you listen them on, like, standalone, the soundtrack, it's crazy, especially on a sound design point of view. It's like, the synth, the way they modulate synth, the way they orchestrate everything, it's crazy good. Every single soundtrack, even the thing about like that soundtrack in the menu that you spend like 3 minutes in, it's crazy good. So like they did a great job. The only thing is maybe it didn't get equalized that well, but still saying it's a bad soundtrack is
that's
stupid. Get out of here.
Stupid.
Get out of here.
Especially it's plain stupid, dude.
Especially because this guy's probably like a gatekeeper. So like compared to like Armored Core 4, there are a lot of Armored Core 4, Armored Core 3 style soundtracks. Like Rusty theme is very like rock, very with a lot of vocals, which is very old school, and I really, really appreciate it. But I do see where he's coming from, where it's very different. But again, it's not the point of the game.
Difference doesn't mean that it's
bad.
Worse.
Yeah. The one thing that I would point out is that this is something that happens a lot of times whenever a more modern version of a game comes up, and people kind of like protest and they say, "Oh, this game is bad because of this and whatnot." And in a way, you can even make the argument that I've made a little bit of that when it comes to like Rise and Sunbreak, but I never said that I feel like Rise and Sunbreak are bad. I said I miss some things from the older games, without saying that this new game is bad. It's just a different kind of game.
And people don't get it. People don't get it.
Yeah.
People think that you saying one is one, like if people think that you say that, means that everything else is bad.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when it comes to takes like this, it's stuff that I see all of the time whenever a game becomes a little bit more modern. So for instance, when Monster Hunter World came out, there was a bunch of people also saying like, "Oh, this is not Monster Hunter," bro. It's like, what the fuck do you mean this is not Monster Hunter? It's made by the team that created Monster Hunter. Who are you? I would say they know better than you do. Shut the fuck up. It's like, what the fuck do you mean?
No, but like, you don't get it. They have business partners and they forget the game part. Like, shut the fuck up.
Even
man,
comparing
honestly.
like the Monster Hunter comparison is great because like compare like Word soundtrack to Rise soundtrack. Like Word is super cinematic, super like huge because it's supposed to have that vibe going on, very cinematic vibe. While Rise is more like the old school is more melodic driven. So they're different, but it's not because that Rise is better than Word. It's just like it's personal taste, right?
The thing is, I think that there should be room for a discussion where someone can argue like, oh, I feel like Armored Core 4 is better because of this and that. But just the way that this person words it, it's like, it's trash for babies. It's a game for babies.
I was like, listen, for example, the old Armored Core
for babies.
The old Armored Cores have, for example, more parts to the build. You could have more things to go for. But at the same time, not all of them were good. Not all of them were fun.
And I wonder how many of those were like actually impactful too.
And how many of those have been
trash.
almost 90% of it was useless, and a lot of it has been implemented in Armored Core 6 as stats within the parts.
Because 4 for answer were like so min-maxed that like people would just play like 5 builds, that was it, and you couldn't play any other build. Like in 6 you can kind of make everything work more or less. At least for PvE.
Listen, if you and I pulled off like, you don't know this, Rokan, but last night, Duplex and I were like, let's fuck around with some Armored Core 6 PvP. We made a wheelchair build with dual pistols, and it worked.
It does work. It works crazy well.
And it worked. Like, we made this build with the pure intention of making it look like the wheelchair emoji. Because we saw a video about it, and we're like, we have to try this. Surely this build is not going to be this good. It slaps. It goes... It's so good. And I'm just like... I wasn't expecting this to be this effective, but... And then I refused to use the wheelchair legs. I was like, no, big tanks. Big tanks.
Only big tanks.
The wheelchair feels weird though. It feels a bit odd.
Wheelchair is like cheating. It's like, no, that's like tank, but for people that don't want to play tank. It's like, no.
You stagger really easily with that as well, because I was used to using like tank treads when I try to go heavy builds, and this one is like, why am I getting staggered? This doesn't feel right. But yeah, you can absolutely make everything. I can definitely see the point that you guys are making of, yes, there is room to criticize Armored Core 6 in terms of what it could have taken from older titles that perhaps it didn't. But the way this is worded and the fact that you think that this game is for newbies, you strike me as the kind of person that got filtered by Balteus for a while.
It probably got filtered by the helicopter boss. And it was like, in the previous games, I could have changed my build.
Yeah.
Some bullshit.
Cringe. Okay, next one.
Difficulty.
Can I change the difficulty settings? Okay, this one's even better. Okay, next one is, only bought this game because it was advertised to have been made by Elden Ring developers. The moment I saw mechas, I quit instantly. There is no way it's going to be even half as good at Elden Ring, especially with Miyazaki at the helm. Without Miyazaki at the helm. Going back to Baldur's Gate 3, and then I'll have Starfield up to feast on. Now, where do you begin?
It's like I did no research at all, and I bought the game, and then I realized that this game was about mechas. I hate mechas. All this weeb bullshit. I can't believe you do this to me. Fuck you all.
Steam.
There's not even anything to say about that. Dude, that person just got brain rot on a different level.
Buys mech game, looks inside, mechs, refunds the game.
Bro, I'm just like, listen, Steam, hire me. I will look through these reviews and I can tell you, like, there should be some sort of IQ test. There's no fucking way this affects the rating of the game, and there's so many reviews like this.
Who the fuck put mechas in my mecha game? Like, what the fuck is this? Why would you do this? Pikachu surprised face.
It's like the guy that goes to McDonald's is like, I have a cheeseburger. Why did you put cheese in my cheeseburger?
Yeah, why did you put cheese in my cheeseburger? What the fuck?
Cheese.
It's just... God, incredible.
Is this cheese vegan friendly? What about the meat?
Is the meat vegan?
It's that level of analogy though. Like, I bought this game because it was made by Elden Ring. No, the fact is that it's not even like, oh, I was checking this game out. No, he bought it.
He bought it.
Yeah,
that means how are you unaware that there are mechs in this game when you bought it? Did you not look at a trailer? Did you not look at the fucking art of the game when you...
Yeah, exactly. Did you see the art in the store, or did you just read the text?
It's literally the fucking thumbnail is just a giant Armored Core.
Yep.
Nah, man, it has to be some sort of magical golem, surely.
Oh yeah, I wish Armored Core would have like great sword so I could focus
It
on melee
does.
combat.
Oh no, it has a lance.
This one is great. This one just says racist. Too many white actors. I'm not joking.
Okay.
I'm not joking.
All right.
I can't tell.
I
can't
don't
tell
know
how
how
Brother,
many-
their voices
You
in
don't
your
even-
head.
You don't even see the picture of a single human being.
One is literally a spice. It's literally a molecule.
I'm assuming you're talking about voice actors.
Even then, I would have to do research, but like...
Get your woke ass out of the Steam review page.
Jesus
I beg.
Christ.
Nah.
Again,
That's weird.
buys Brutalist game. Looks inside. It's Brutalist. Refunds the game.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, next one. Game is stupidly impossibly hard. It's been Dark Souls-ized, like that term. Expect to restart submissions literally 30 times to beat them. If your idea of a good time is to have a bad game, ignore this and buy that. List of issues, I guess it's a fancy word for that, in this game include, but aren't limited to, bosses with 250,000 HP that do 8,000 damage in one shot and have 9,000 HP. Even though they do 8. Oh, hold on. The maths here is clicking. They do 8,000 damage one shot, and you have 9,000 HP. So he's telling you that
almost
one shot
you.
Okay.
Basically, almost one shot.
I think that's what they mean. Even regular quotation marks missions with cloaky boys that do 5,000 damage to your 9,000 HP.
See, he didn't like that mission I was talking about.
Someone salty in one shot. Oh, hold on. Oh, and they're invisible. Oh, and they spawn behind you. Oh, and if they kill you, you have to start the mission all over from the beginning. I think this Rurikon, were you talking to this dude?
That might have been me.
It's actually him.
It's actually me.
Rurikon's
When I was doing that mission, I was like, God damn, these invisible motherfuckers. I can't believe you do this to me.
Furiously typing on the...
Yeah, just like furiously typing.
Where do I even begin? Game is stupidly impossibly hard. It's been Dark Souls-ized. How? Okay,
it's
so
not even... Here's one thing that I would like to bring up from the beginning right here, which is like, listen, my whole channel was started on the premise of explaining to people why Dark Souls is not as hard as everybody else makes it out to be, okay? Let me tell you something, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Dark Souls is literally one of the easiest games I have ever played in my life. Okay?
Yeah, no, I think
I'm not exaggerating.
No, I see your
The problem
point.
is people don't understand the gameplay mechanics of Dark Souls. And then they go in and they're like, game's so hard. It's like, no, you just don't know how to play it. These are two very different things. The game is not hard in any way, shape, or form. There might be the occasional boss that might be a little bit more challenging, but Dark Souls is not a hard game. So that's number one. And number two, Armored Core is not as hard as like the most recent entries in the Souls genre. Not even remotely close.
I just don't understand how you can say, listen, I like it when people present an argument. You can go against me, and I think I think as a content creator, I'm starting to show that I'm more than welcome to disagree with you. Like my most the two videos that I did before the Armored Core one are me talking about what I think Rise did right or wrong, and in there I've had some amazing discussions with people that have discussed things with me in the comments, super respectful, saying stuff like, listen, I don't agree with you, this is why, veterans, newcomers alike. But this is the problem. You say it's too hard. You say it's because it's Dark Souls-ized, but then you don't proceed to explain. So what is what is it about Dark Souls that makes it so hard? Because like Rurikon says, and like I said in my fucking Armored Core video, this game looks complicated, but it really isn't. It really isn't. You can make this game much easier if you just are willing to understand that
just
this
watch my guide, my 40-minute guide.
It's easy as long as
just a plug in there. Guide, which by the way is linked in the description below.
It's easy as long as you watch the Rurikan guide in the link description.
Guide, but it's like it's 40 minutes because it goes over some really basic shit. Because a lot of people, they skip over tutorials and then they're like, they don't understand games, and I'm just like, okay, let me try and explain the tutorial to you easier and then go into some more advanced concepts. But that's why you timestamp it and shit. But
exactly.
Ultimately, I think it's about people understanding the mechanics of the game. Like, for instance, when I was struggling against the Sea Spider, and Cowboy just tells me, "You're stupid. Attack closer." then it won't ricochet anymore. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, fair
Ideal
enough.
range.
Click
oh, okay.
light bulb moment.
No,
The further away you are, the more it will ricochet. Oh, okay.
I also love that this is not by any means the hardest armored core we have. So I don't get why they
Not
say
at
it's
all.
been dark. So like
Yeah.
the previous armored core were fucking brutal, especially the third gen is brutal. Last Raven armored core fans keep talking about it.
Four answer
It's crazy.
Beat my ass into submission.
Four
without
answer,
me
yeah,
wanting to.
but like especially Last Raven, it's like crazy hard because it's even mechanically hard. Like the controllers was completely ass. But the thing is, like, this game is not hard, and I don't get why people are talking about making it a Souls-like, and it's turning into a more Souls-like game. Like the flow, it's more that, yeah, but it's still an armored core at the end of the day.
I would say it's more akin to something like the only Dark Souls thing that I see, it could be the comparison between the repair kit and an Estus. Okay, whatever, healing is healing in my opinion.
The boss flow is similar. The boss flow is similar, but I wouldn't say it's a Souls mechanic. It's more an action RPG mechanic, right?
I wouldn't even say action RPG. I would just say action game. It's not like there's.
Action game,
there are a couple of passive stats that you can get, but they're very minimal. I feel like it's. I think you can get like up to 15% bonuses on some things, which is not
always tuning
that
and stuff
much.
like that.
So there is a little bit of an RPG aspect to it, but even that, it's more about building. It's just about building. That's it.
Yeah.
And we've got that's my thing, man. Like, listen, if the game is not for you, that's fine. But don't drop a negative review on it saying that it's too hard because it's Dark Souls-ized and then proceed to not back your point.
Also
because all you're saying here is, and like your point about having 9,000 HP, mate, you can easily go over it.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you say, oh, I have 9,000 HP and the boss takes away 8,000 HP, that's not the way Dark Souls work.
Yeah, no.
That's not how it works. So it's not
Dark
even Dark Souls.
Best takes like even less than half of your health. At best, the strongest of attacks,
and that's like big strong attack.
Big strong attacks.
Unless you're like naked with Calamity Ring or something like that.
Don't level big.
And then maybe you have a boss that has a one shot, but they're always like stupidly telegraphed. Most of them are super easy to dodge. So like, listen, I can't get behind this at all.
Yeah,
at all. And then the sad one that I have, which is kind of like the best one out of the bunch, says, I sadly requested a refund. First boss tutorial gives you an idea of what you're in for and is pretty rough. You are unable to customize mech and can't get the boss safe for beating it. Not easy when it flies around behind boundaries. You can't get to it but are expected to melee it. Again, note tutorial. Bosses after the first boss get brutal. I had a lot of spare time in a day and it would be more worthwhile. I try to support sci-fi games, and Armored Core is something that I loved back in the day. At the devs, if you want to make a game that makes people feel bad, you did a good job. For casual gamers like myself, I simply want to play 30 minutes to an hour after work. I'm not going to spend hours learning bosses and getting my face smashed. If you want very difficult fights added to a series selector or lose potential revenue, then you've done a good job.
It's like, the worst part about it is that I completely disagree with what he said, because Armored Core 6 is actually the game. If all you want to do is play, I
was about to say,
I got a quick 30 minutes to get in. Let's go, go. You can do like 1 or 2 missions. Like, you don't have 30 to minutes.
You can easily do at least 3. And if you want to speed run them, you can even do more.
Depends on the missions and depends on your skill level. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, you can do 3, but this person clearly wouldn't. But they would at least be able to do 1. Practice a little bit on a boss, do 1 mission, be done. It's like, you can jump into that game and play it for 30 minutes. It's actually one of the few From Software games where you can kind of do that and feel like you've achieved something.
It's I completely disagree with that. Even if you were like, PvP matches are 2 minutes. Even if you're not into PvP, it's like Rurikhan said, some missions, they will take you 10 to 15 minutes, and they're not very difficult. So, and like, the only thing I can kind of see why you're saying it, and I kind of agree, is the first tutorial boss, you can go out of boundaries, that can be kind of annoying. Again, it won't happen if you learn how to space properly. If you learn how to space with that boss, he won't leave. But if you're rushing it down, it's gonna back up.
It's a 3 minutes fight compared to a whole ass game, right? I don't know. Even like, I get the comparison with the old titles because they were basically almost a complete different genre. They went more from a mech builder to an action game. So again, I see a lot of where these people are coming from. But again, it's it's been modernized. I don't get why people expect a 14 years old series that has been still for like good 10 years to be the same as it was like back then, right?
I don't understand why, like, this. Again, this is just one of those reviews that comes off me for, they say that the bosses after that are harder, so I'm assuming they did a little bit more. But it's the thing of like, oh, if you want to make casual gamers feel bad, it's like, listen, buddy, it's not like that. They're not after you like this. It's not, and it's in the Unrecord video I made. I said, when someone tells you in the Souls community to get good, that's not us pointing and laughing at you and be like, haha, be ashamed of your skill. It's more of a, okay, wake up, the baby gloves are now off, reach your potential.
Yeah.
Because no one started off a good player. Nobody. Everyone in the Souls community gets their ass whooped.
That's one of the things that really bothers me when people, when people misrepresent the Souls community like a bunch of elitist assholes. And it's like, don't get me wrong, there's definitely a couple of rotten apples that actually think that the whole get good meme is about being mean to someone and actually like, get good, you fucking suck at the game. Blah, blah, blah. When the reality is, and the true origins of get good is somebody just kind of like turning around to them, well, look, it's time to fucking get good. It's time to man up and become better. And here's how you can do it. And the Souls community in particular has always been a community that is much more about uplifting people and like, hey, listen, you're struggling. Let's get in there. Let's explain to you why you're struggling. Here's the mechanic. Here's this, here's that. Like, you will find more content like that on pretty much any social media platform that you want. If you go looking for Souls content, you're going to find more content of people trying to uplift other people and trying to tell them, hey, try playing it like this, try playing it like that, try using this weapon, try using this thing, blah, 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 blah. Then you will find of people actually being, you're so dumb, you suck at the game, you're bad. Like, that is actually a much lesser percentage of content that does that. And it always annoys the fuck out of me when people grossly misrepresent the Souls community on account of like one or two bad apples. Because like, look, every community has bad apples in every single fucking video game. I don't care which video game you're talking about. Every single community has bad apples. But you will find, both at least in the Souls community and in the Monster Hunter community, you will find that there are many more people that want to uplift you and enable you to actually enjoy these experiences than are there to just make fun of you.
Go find a Dark Souls 3 PvP rage build-up compilation, and then go look for a COD one. Tell me which one you're gonna find more. Tell me which one you're gonna find more, and then go look at how to play Call of Duty tutorials versus how to play Souls. Like, and listen, I played COD. I can shit on them all I want. Okay, I was a COD kid when I was growing up. I can shit on it all I want. But listen, it's not about being like I don't. This particular review just makes it seem like you took it personal. Like, it's a video game at the end of the day. I don't like. Listen, if someone like Burkhan and Duplex have been saying, if someone did come out to you and like go out of their way to make fun of you, I'm sorry, that's not what the Souls community has ever been about. Listen, a lot of people know I got Bloodborne tattooed on my arm for a very simple reason. It took me genuine personal development to beat the Orphan of Cause, because I got to the Orphan of Cause and I was like, I got frustrated.
Man went through a character arc to beat a boss.
I went through an entire thing because I had some stuff going on in real life, right? And then I was like, okay, so the mentality that is implemented with the phrase "get good," it's not "you're trash, be ashamed." It's you need to overcome what you're doing. You need to think. You need to approach it from a different angle.
This is to go even beyond.
This is the way, okay? Just like the Mandalorians tell you, and this is something that if you apply onto real life, it's actually very enlightening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a point.
It's just funny that you struggled with the Orphan of Cause, because that was probably my longest death streak ever recorded on a stream. Yeah, because I fucked up. I did when I went to the old Hunters DLC. I was like, oh, I want to make an arcane build. This will be great.
No,
no,
So
bro.
I just stacked arcane. I just had like stacked arcane. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. And then I get to the Orphan of Cause, and it's like I'm healing it. I'm not even dealing damage.
You guys didn't see it, but I got goosebumps only on my arm with the tattaoo. The arcane took over for a second.
6 hours. Listen, 6 hours. I was on, and it was not even on my channel. I was doing because I was working for TGN at the time, so it was on the official TGN channel. 6 hours of getting my ass bitch slapped by the Orphan of Cause.
I think for me it was Pontiff Sullivan, which I spent like a good day.
I beat him
like,
third try.
Fuck you.
You want to know why though?
Why?
I made a very specific parry build, and I spent like so fucking long learning how to parry that when it got to Pontiff, I didn't do anything but parry the 2 attacks that you can parry properly.
For Pontiff, I spent like a good day because Dark Souls 3 was my first Souls, and it was the first time I encountered like a the wall that you encounter in every single Souls.
Yeah.
And just like everyone said, it's about just realizing like, okay, my mentality has to be like, I have to keep trying, and eventually I'll get over it. Either I change my build, I change my weapon, I change the way I behave during the fight. That's the mentality, and that's like also like the support that I usually see online. It's people being nice to each other. So I don't know why people they
just misrepresent the Souls
community.
But like an easy search, and you'll find the complete opposite. And one of the best videos that I can actually say, yes, Rurukan's review and like how to play in Beginner's Guide is pretty useful. And then another one that is actually really useful is Fighting Cowboys build on how to build an AC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That video.
Because when you look at the AC menu, and I made a joke about this on my AC video saying, you look at all these numbers, like my friend, I'm not smart. My brain goes to fucking whatever townland when I'm just looking at all these numbers. But when you realize how they work and realize what matters and what doesn't, it becomes so much easier, and it's not hard. Like if I can get these games and I can understand them, literally anyone can. I got the double-digit IQ rocking right now. You don't even have to worry about it. But I know that we're over the 2 hours. Rurukan, I don't know if you've got to go. I respect it.
No, I'm fine.
Because I got a couple more things.
Going. Go ahead.
Because after beating through these interesting takes, and I will say there is some stuff in here that we've seen, except for the one that calls the game racist. But everything else is, there's some stuff in there that yes you could pick up, but listen to the people that do this. If you somehow stumble across this, and I know some of you will, because some of these are in my comments. Okay, just stop taking shit so personally. Like a game beating you is not talking to you about you being a bad person. It just means that you have to change a couple of digital little stats. That's it.
Commit Fires of Raven.
Depending on the game. Not always the case for every single game.
Oh yeah, no. Also, depending on the game.
Also, if you're not having a good time with the game, don't play it. I'll be honest. That's something I always say. If you don't like Souls, they don't click with you. You come back to them later.
They don't play it.
Just don't play them. Maybe you like the aesthetic a lot. Just buy the art book.
Guess
that's what I did with Bloodborne at first.
I've looked at Fortnite plenty of times. Doesn't seem appealing. Looked at Apex Legends. Doesn't seem appealing. Guess what I don't do?
You didn't play
I don't.
Fortnite.
I don't play it.
What, bro? You didn't play Fortnite? You
get good.
I played Fortnite for 12 minutes and gave up.
I played Fortnite for like 1 minute and.
I played one match of Apex Legends and I got first place. Never touched it again.
Oh.
With Apex, I was actually
undefeated.
The kind of guy who's like, I won one round. It's like the guy that gets a fighting game, beats one person's like, kind of a god.
Undefeated.
Whatever.
Yep.
My KDA is the highest in the world.
It's kind of like the dumbass people that got to Elatrion in Iceborne, got their asses whooped, and were like,
I can't use my blast weapon.
My blast weapon.
My blast weapon.
Forcing me to use elemental builds. I'm just like,
you do this.
Oh man,
brother, get your ass back into Monster Hunter for Ultimate, farming Pink Rathian for 5 hours only to hunt one more monster.
I'm glad these people didn't beat Elatrion, because if it would have gotten to Fatalis, can you imagine what they would have said?
There's even another review bomb wave.
I just love how can we just say just like 2 minutes to say this? I love how Capcom right after all the Elatrian discussion, just
Fatalis.
They're like,
No,
don't
no.
Fatalis. Put
no,
him in
no,
there.
no, not just that. They ask you to fight Elatrian again to get to Fatalis. It's so perfect. I love Capcom for that.
We heard you didn't like this monster. Why don't you fight it again? Just fight it again.
That one clip. It's like that one video of the kid who's like, oh, someone just bullied me in school, and the guy starts laughing. He's like, well, it's about to happen again.
It's just so. I think they knew. They definitely knew.
Good. I say good. Like, give them the tough love. I'm sorry. Just grow up. If you genuinely were one of the people that review bombed Iceborne or World, I don't know which package it was, like if you can do different ones on Steam, because you got beat by Elatrion. Like, listen, it took me a lot of tries to solo Elatrion. Like, we're talking well over 10 tries for me to get the hunts.
I spent like 13 hours until I had a kill that I was happy with.
I spent like
remember
2 days.
You doing that. I was
2 days farming it as well.
I remember
like, trying
you doing
to get
that.
it.
But I didn't.
I remember.
I dropped the
my
gun
hands
lance
were-
when I went against Elatrion, to be fair.
I remember my
like,
hands were
I'll use
fucking
lance.
shaking. I remember my hands were shaking. Slap lands.
I used lance when I went up against Elatrion, but because I had the
Traitor.
2 paths. I had the 2 pills where I was like, review bomb the game. Learn, or do I try
Learn the
something
lance.
else? You know, I'm putting into 2 options. In reality, is more like 50 different options that do not include review bombing the game out of rage.
You know, trying one of the 14 weapons we have for this game.
Bro,
right?
just light bowgun it. Like, if you're that pissed, get a light bowgun that has elemental damage and just go to town. Just come on, man. But yeah, and it also happened with Melania. And listen,
Melania.
Ooh, Melania, I got the
someone-
shit beat out of me.
Melania. I think
were you
it
rocking
took
a
me-
great shield build by any chance? Because I think you were.
I think I was trying to. I don't remember. Oh no, wait. I do remember how I ended up beating it. It was post nerf Mimic, I think. I think it was post because like Mimic was giga powerful, and I didn't use it when it was giga powerful.
Yeah.
By the time I got to Millennium, Mimic was nerfed. So it was post nerf Mimic. But I did do a thing where there was that weapon that had an art, or you could put the art. I forget if I put it there specifically, but there was one weapon art where when you'd use it, it would heal you.
Oh yeah, the Rykard sword.
Oh,
The-
No,
Rikard
it's not
No,
the
that's-
Rykard sword. There was another one. It was one of the faith type things, but it was not Rykard sword because I put it on a hammer.
Oh, okay. I understand what you mean.
It was like
Yeah.
one of the strikes, like a smiting strike, or whatever the frag
yeah.
it was. But so I
Holy
basically
strike or
what I
something.
would do is I had a shield and I would equip that weapon with the art. I would summon the mimic and then I would swap to the weapon I actually wanted to use. So when the mimic used the art, it would heal itself. So on some of the attempts, the mimic would actually last long enough to be useful.
You play
Oh,
Loki like a
wow.
cleric. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, dude. Now it was like if you watch the Melania episode, I think the death montage was so long that I even just started like each death was only just like the slashing sound when you die. And it just goes like I started speeding it. I was like I mean, I made a musical out of the amount of times that I died to pre-nerf Radon.
Oh,
for a Dawn was
for
crazy.
Dawn.
Yeah, I made a musical out of it where every single time that I died, I changed the audio and like the bass of the death sound, so it went. Yeah. And then I sang too. I sang in that video. So-
It's for me was when
That's
you
awesome.
reach that final phase and Radon takes off, and all you hear
He ball strikes you.
Yeah, you just hear the ambush sound. You just get the notification on the side of your screen. Bryce boots up, and suddenly Valstrax crashes into you. Yeah, again, clear examples of times where we should have clearly put the game down, gone to Steam and review
No.
sites,
Gone
and
to
being very
therapy.
angry.
Yes.
Why play the game? Why try to use other things in the game when I can just be very angry on Twitter and then put it on Steam? But
that works better, I hear.
I think that's incredible. I think that the guys that look at the game, they won't make fun of me. They won't make me hunt Elatrion again before Fatalis. I'm sure they won't.
Capcom's
Deserved.
reasonable, I hear.
Deserved. Fucking do it again. I say Monster Hunter 6, do it a second time just to take the piss as well.
Every single monster is a Latrin. They just spam Eschaton Judgment.
Make them do the Elatrion 3 times. But going back to the Armored Core topics, and this is probably going to be the last thing that I want to talk about, which is basically the one video that I've made so far in Armored Core 6 is how I explain that it's my pick for Game of the Year, even though I know it's not going to be Game of the Year. And I completely respect that because 2023 is the year.
Yep. 2023 is like the best year in gaming since, like, to me, 2017. 2017
isn't 17 when we got Breath of the Wild, the first one.
Breath of the Wild, Nier Automata, I believe also Metal Gear Solid 5? I forget.
Yeah. I think
yeah. So a bunch of other games that we got in 2017.
We got Word as well, I think.
Yes.
We got what?
We got Monster Hunter World.
No, World was 2018.
No, World was 2018.
Oh, my bad.
That was the one thing that was missing from 2017 as well. But I remember that 2017 had like tremendous amount of really, really good games. And up until now, there hadn't really been a year like that. And then 2023 comes in and it's like, boom, it tops over 2017, depending on the types of games that you like, of course. I hope that it gets at least nominated. I don't think it'll win, and I don't think it would be my personal choice.
Which
love
one,
it.
What game do you want to pick?
That's the thing. It's so hard because in a lot of ways, I almost want Remnant 2 to win. But at the same time, the state in which Remnant 2 released, it was like, well, bro, it's like, listen, multiplayer is broken. There's a bunch of like performance issues. Some people on PC can't even run the game. Like the game launched like in not a very good state. And the other thing is also I did not like the final boss of Remnant 2. It's like, bro,
me neither.
Seizure inducing is what I would call
that second
boss.
Phase. The first phase I'm fine with. That second phase, because I was playing it with a friend called Ron, who's a well-known character around my channel.
Yeah.
We were both like, it was that moment where you take your headset out of the head and you put it on the table and like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, what the hell was that? Yeah.
Why is this game suddenly Minecraft? So like, and the Matrix, but it was.
I think probably the one who deserves it the most is Baldur's Gate 3 for the amount of chances that it took. The thing about Baldur's Gate is that I didn't like the story very much. And that's not saying that the story is bad, because that's something that a lot of people instantly
will get really mad at.
Yeah. No, but it's not even, I don't care if they get mad. I care that they misrepresent what I said, because in a video where I criticized that and I said, I don't like the story, and I specifically followed it up by saying, this doesn't mean the story is bad. I think the story is actually really good, but I don't like it. It's not the type of story that, I resonate with. And people got really mad at me. But it's like, that's the one thing about Baldur's Gate, is that the story isn't really for me, but the gameplay of the game is so good, and the amount of choices that you get in the first 2 acts is so amazing that kind of just like makes the game. The third act, though, has a lot of problems. It does. It's got a lot of bugs. It's the
part that got the last play tested, so it makes sense.
Yeah. And and the story didn't gel as much, but I still would like to see them win it, because it would at least send a little bit of that message of where Larian Studios really did come out swinging with a big fuck you to a lot of AAA developers.
Yep.
And I want to support that to the best of my ability, where they just came out and they were like, oh, is your game going to have microtransactions? And they're like, no, we believe in providing you with a full, complete experience. And I was like, wow.
Whoa, damn.
Like, just like bitch slap everybody in the AAA industry. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? Even though I didn't like the story very much, I would love to see them take Game of the Year.
I think that's a mission statement that pretty much nobody stands by nowadays. It's crazy to me to think of that. I would love for Armored Core 6 to get nominated for Action Game of the Year. I think
even just nominated.
It's like, and the thing about Action Game of the Year is that then I get conflicted. It's like, well, do I like Armored Core 6 more than I like Final Fantasy 16? Because I love both of those.
That's what I brought up.
Like,
I haven't played Final Fantasy
like
16.
you guys are
dude,
talking.
you are missing out so much.
I
You guys are talking about Final Fantasy 16 and Armored Core. I'm here just hoping that Hi-Fi Rush at least gets recognized. I know, like, a lot of people don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's just like a game that shadow dropped on like the 5th of January.
I love Hi-Fi Rush. I haven't finished it, but the reason I haven't finished it is actually very specific to my computer setup. In order to play Hi-Fi Rush, I need to change my setup around because the beat is so tight that the delay between the sound piping through my capture card, it throws me off. Like when I started playing the game, I was like, bro, I suck at this game. Like, is my rhythm this bad? I can't land a single hit on the beat. What the fuck is going on? And then I plugged off my headset and I plugged it directly into the monitor and I basically removed all of my capture equipment from the equation. It was just like, no, there's just me and the computer and the game and nothing else. And then I was like, oh, this is great. But the problem is I can't keep my setup like that for very long because I need to make videos, need to do shit. So every time in order to play Hi-Fi Rush, I need to just like disconnect everything. And it's a pain in the ass.
I don't know. It's just like it's the game that just I love it. It's literally
it's really good. Yeah.
My favorite art style. It feels super unique. Even that game feels like a bitch slap to the AAA industry because it feels like a breath of fresh air. Completely different. No promotional before launch or anything. It's just a game that comes out. It's good and that's it. And I love it. I know it's not gonna win. I don't think it's gonna get even nominated. But aside from that,
I think it will get nominated for some categories, like maybe new up and coming or something like that. One of those.
I don't think it's gonna get. I don't think it's gonna be overlooked.
No, I just hope it gets something even aside from Armored Core 6, which obviously we all want to get recognized somehow.
Let's be real, dude. Tears of the Kingdom is gonna get Game of the Year. I think
it's gonna be Baldur's Gate 3.
It's not. It's like
I would prefer to see.
I would prefer to see Baldur's Gate 3 take Game of the Year over Tears of the Kingdom, but Tears of the Kingdom is a fantastic game too. Like,
so I have to disclose.
This is a game where I don't know if you guys know, before the final boss, I don't know how many of you guys finished it, but it's not really a big spoiler. Before the final boss is like a horde type event almost, right? The way that I beat it in my playthrough is I made a fucking tank. Okay, I was in that horde in my tank, just like just murdering everybody with lasers. This is great. I love this.
It's pure D&D energy, which I love. Yeah, and so the thing is, I think there's this great video that one of my favorite YouTubers did. It's called Ratatosker. He made a video on why Baldur's Gate 3 should win
Never heard
Game
of
the Year. For a second, I was like, wait, no.
Clip that shit. Clip that shit.
No, I love Ratatosker. Ratatosker is awesome. I think that some people might even think that we initially had beef, which we never did, because he referenced like one of my posts or something where where I was saying like, oh, people that don't like this game, they're not going to like 90% of games. And I remember seeing that in the video of his, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. No, but I think that people think that I would take something like that and have beef, and it's like, don't love Rata. Talk to him all the time.
People will take shit out of context all the time.
He made a really good point that like Baldur's Gate 3 essentially turned role-playing games, especially turn-based.
It's D&D, but in a video game.
I saw that video. It was really good.
It made it turned it into like an actual, like a game that it's accessible to everyone and that everyone wants to play, which is something that it's not easy to do, right? Everyone is talking about Baldur's Gate 3, just like when Elden Ring launched, right? Everyone was talking about Elden Ring for months to come. So it's just a game that came out in a pretty good state compared to a lot of other AAA games. No microtransaction. It's innovative. It feels like brand new. It's a breath of fresh air. I think it should win Game of the Year, definitely.
When we're talking about Game of the Year stuff that I just don't like, basically what I don't want to see in the Game of the Year, like Game of the Year award, Game Awards, sorry, that's the name of the event. Well, I've already gone in depth, and I had a massive rant on one of my streams about the security issue that they've been having with people walking up on stage and doing dumb shit. That's not what I'm going to be talking about though. But I
Elephant Gun.
Yep.
I said it. Shoot them.
No, I want like the beefiest fucking security guard at the edge of the stage to just tackle him to the ground.
Dude, yeah. Tackle them up against the stage, like break their ribs or something. Like, just like
I had like
ram them in there, like teach them a fucking lesson, dude. You come up on the stage unprompted, get fucked, bro.
Honestly, though, and it's the shit that happened like when I was when did it happen? Gamescom. That's when it happened.
Yeah,
because in 2014, I actually went to Gamescom myself, and I was like, dude, I would be pissed if I was in the show and something like this happened. And I'm just like, dude, for what?
Did you see Todd Howard when he came out afterwards? He was like fucking.
He's like, oh yeah, he was like.
You could tell that Todd Howard's like, hey, this is some bullshit. Somebody about to come in here with some beef with me about Fallout 76, and they're gonna fucking stab me.
That's the one thing that I brought up because I was streaming Monster Hunter World, and someone
developers
will
not want to go.
Yeah, they're gonna start
people keep pulling those.
It's not safe. It's definitely not safe.
What I said is like, listen. It's whatever when someone goes into some dumb shit, they get a little bit of clout on their end. If you're like me, that's the only time you're ever gonna see them. Like they went in and then did some dumb shit, like the fucking kid that said something about Joe Biden when Elden Ring got Game of the Year. But it's like I still remember it
Bill
as
Clinton.
Elden Ring. Oh, Bill Clinton. Sorry, different guy. Yeah, my bad. See, I was paying real close attention to that one, but it's more about the fact that it's like all it takes is right now it's stupid people doing stupid jokes for clout.
Yeah.
All it takes is one of these dudes with like a pencil to go up to a developer or a presenter and hurt them. And then you no longer have these events.
Yep.
Or developers are just simply going to pull out because I'm just going to be like, are you really going to put Miyazaki on stage?
It's like it's already hard enough for someone like me, which I know that for a lot of people, they'll look at my channel and be like, oh, 200,000 subs, big content creator. Nowadays, that's actually pretty small. In the context of like the pool of content creators that companies have available to work with, it's actually 200,000 is pretty small. And
million at least is what they're looking for nowadays.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's already hard sometimes for you to try and get in touch with people to work with you because they don't trust you, because people are constantly eroding trust online, even by like, you know, they'll give you a game code and somebody will just like break embargo. It's like it sucks that, you know, a lot of people, they'll break embargoes, and then somebody like me, who I'm super careful about embargoes, and I'll approach somebody and people won't even want to work with you because like, well, you're not big enough, you don't have a lot to lose, so we're not going to work with you. And it kind of sucks, but it's all about, you know, the attitude of people not respecting the boundaries that are kind of like expected in certain amount of decorum. And I know that it's a little bit unrelated, but it's the same thing. Like you're going to go into a stage, you're going to invade a stage, you're going to leak something, you're going to do something. What happens is there's a trickle down effect wherein, again, they'll double down on not really supporting smaller content creators and only working with bigger content creators. And that's kind of like the way that the industry just keeps on going, to the point where eventually you don't really have events where there's an audience. It's just like, no, there's an event and it's more like just a string of trailers or whatever, and here you go, and it's done. There's no audience, no physical event, no nothing. And I know that for a lot of people, they're like, who cares? We don't need that. And it's like, as someone who's been to both E3 and Gamescom, and it's like, there's an energy when you're at
it's an amazing experience.
It's a special
it's
thing.
very different than watching it online. Okay, like from a content creation standpoint, it's more advantageous to watch it online. But as somebody that wants to just experience it, like being in the crowd as revelations are happening and all of that shit, it's really cool. And it's gonna suck, because like, here's the thing, I've already experienced it. I don't have to experience. If I never experience it again, it's whatever. I've experienced it, but I'm always thinking about, well, there might be other people that want to jump into the industry and might want to experience this stuff for themselves. And I would like to leave the industry in a better state than it was when I came in. But most people don't think like that. They're like, no, I'm going to get mine, going to get my clout, going to get my money, get the fuck out, fuck everybody else, don't care. And that fucking sucks, because it just makes it worse for everyone. And this type of like stage invasion or leaks or whatever the fuck makes everything worse for everybody else that is trying to get into the industry.
Yep. No, I couldn't have said it better. So next time, big ass buff person, bodyguard, and
I think it would I think it would be hilarious, the trank gun thing. It'd be so hilarious. Like, imagine somebody's
So
like making a run
just-
for the stage, and you just are like, and they're just like drop.
Make it like a Solid Snake cosplayer, so it just looks like it's part of the event, right?
Extra bonus points if that person like bangs their head against like a stair or something. It's like,
so when I said that, I was
they're like bleeding in the ground.
Just
like,
imagine,
yeah, fuck you, get
just
fucked.
imagine they get tranked and they fall to the ground, and then Snake Eaters start playing in the background.
They Fulton them out. They Fulton them out, dude. They're just like this little balloon. Just like going to the air.
For me, it's like when I was saying that on stream, I was going quite hard. I was like, these people need to be punished. And then there was one dude that was quite sensible. He was like, oh, come on. He was new to the channel, so he doesn't know that I use comedic overkill when I talk about shit like this. And the whole point is that there needs to be appropriate punishment. Because this shit goes unscathed. They need to go to jail. They need to be fined, okay? It can't just be a slap on the wrist. Don't do it again. That was naughty. Don't do it. They're gonna do it again. And you're just like, it's very clear that you have groups of people, and I won't get political with like the just upboiled people, because here in the UK it's been a huge thing. But I'm just like, it gives it the message of, oh, if we invade it, then the best we get is like what? A warning? Sweet.
Nah, dude, listen. 2 months jail time where they get to be cellmates with Tyrone.
Oh no.
Tyrone, who just dropped a bad review on Armored Core 6 for getting filtered by the tutorial boss.
No, not Tyrone. That Tyrone's a pussy. Not that one.
But I think we got the point across there. Like I just when it comes to Armored Core 6 getting Game of the Year, probably won't happen. I'm hoping that it gets Best Action Game. I think it deserves that.
I'm still conflicted there between Armored Core 6 and Final Fantasy 16. Like, I love them both. It's like, oh, which one of your children? Which one of your that's the thing. I'm not even a Final Fantasy guy. I like Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy 16 because they're made by the same team. I'm a Creative Business Unit 3 guy.
Oh god, the discourse! I can hear the old the vets on Final Fantasy typing already.
Yeah, I don't care.
If you focus purely on action, Final Fantasy 16 is like, it's way better. Purely action. Yeah. Because mech, it's kind of its own thing, so it's not really.
It's like I would be more than happy with a nomination.
Yeah.
If it gets an award,
I want them to win something for sure. I want them to win something.
Maybe sound design. Is there sound design?
I mean, according to the guy earlier, according to the guy earlier, the sound sucks, so that's gonna be a no.
Yeah,
they went to fucking steel factories to record the fucking engines. By the way, it's so cool as a thing.
They're really good when they do their stuff. So yeah, I hope that they win something. Hell, here's the thing: if they win Game of the Year, I'll still be happy, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if Baldur's Gate 3 wins it.
All games are still amazing.
We're all gonna win.
As long as it's not Starfield, and I'm not saying as a okay, no, you shouldn't enjoy Starfield.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
Just like slamming down on the Xbox fans, bro.
I'm not saying anything. Just like objectively, it's not. And
it doesn't deserve it. It doesn't deserve it. On a year like 2023. Listen, I liked Starfield. I like what I've played of Starfield, but. Game of the Year? Nah, bro.
It's not a bad game, but it's not the best game. That's all I'm saying.
No. Not by a long shot. It's a fun game, but yeah, it's not even close.
Strongly stand by that. It doesn't like that's like me saying when's Ghost Runner? So I have Grand Blue versus Relink.
No, it's not versus Relink. It's Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. It's the one that's coming next year.
That's the one coming next year, but there's a fighting one, the Versus series, that's coming out again in November. And that's like me saying I want that to win. Or that's like me saying, oh, I want Ghost Runner 2 to win. Like, Ghost Runner is one of my favorite games when it comes to platforming. But come on. Like, come on. And I will say, like, for Ghost Runner 2 to win the game, which hasn't even been out yet, all we've seen is trailers, but like, for that to win, mate, it would have been a bleak fucking year for games. I'm sorry, I have to say, like, if you look at Games of the Year, like, if something has to follow up on Elden Ring, it has to be good.
I mean, Ghost Runner is like a AA or even an indie studio, right?
Yeah, it's an indie studio, in my opinion. I don't know if that will apply, but basically,
I mean, indies should still get a shot at potentially winning Game of the Year, but
usually they always include one indie game in.
Isn't there like a title for best indie game?
There is a title, but in the Game of the Year, they always include one
corporation
indie
titles,
title. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Celeste. Then I remember, what was it last year? I don't know, but they usually try to always include at least one indie game.
I mean, it's all gonna be. I think this year we're gonna win regardless with whatever game gets nominated.
If Diablo 4 wins anything, though, I'm gonna be
Holy
real fucking
shit!
mad.
Oh, dude, no!
I didn't even realize. I
am so fucking
I'm
happy.
be really mad. No,
I was on holiday. I was
Best
on holiday
marketing scheme.
Bro.
I was in Madeira on holiday with my family, and I was looking at your content actually. And when you dropped the fucking clown on the thumbnail, I was like, "Yikes! I am glad I did not buy that."
I was like, I want to start playing Diablo 4. Then I saw your clip of the battle pass. I think was it the accidental purchase of the battle pass?
God, dude!
And I was like, I am buying that shit.
You know what? In a way, I'm happy that happened because that was what I needed to really cut ties with Blizzard. That's like, no, I'm done. You guys, this time,
how could you, man?
It's too much. Like, listen, I've been holding out hope for Blizzard for so long. I'm that boomer guy's like, oh man, they used to be such a good company, man. Wouldn't it be great if we could get the glory days back, man? It would be amazing. After what they did to me with that bullshit, because like it's not a big deal, and I'm a content creator. I don't give a fuck. A lot of people think I had a lot of comments in that video of people saying like, "Ooh, $10, big deal." It's like you don't understand. I don't give a fuck about the $10, $20, however much that piece of shit was worth. I care about the attitude of a company putting a fucking dark pattern in there, and then acknowledging that it wasn't cool that they did that. I mean, because they actually in my post. Actual developers replied there. People that work on the game, because people were telling me like, oh, maybe look at where your cursor is before you press the buttons. And I reply and I say, oh, I wasn't aware that I needed to navigate the UI of a video game like it's a fucking minefield. And then the developer wrote below that and he said like, nah, you shouldn't have to do that. And so even the developers acknowledged that was not cool, whether they didn't say that it was malicious. I heavily suspect that it was malicious. I mean,
it's Blizzard. It's Blizzard.
I firmly believe it was malicious. But whether it was or wasn't, the developers recognized that wasn't right. And, with the traction that my shit got, they changed it. Yeah. But they never refunded anyone.
The fact they changed it is the nail in the coffin.
It's like to me, the thing that you've never given people their battle pass back, that to me is like, no, fuck you guys forever. You're done.
It's dirty. It's doing you dirty, and it's
very dirty.
This is the exact same way I felt with Battlefront 2. This is the exact same fucking way.
And a lot of people are like, oh, big deal, $20. Like, you don't understand. It's completely different than whether it's $20 or not. You're just like, I don't know. You have some kind of fucking brain rot.
Plus 20 wasted dollars because it's wasted money too. In your perspective, right?
It doesn't matter to me because like the content that I've made probably made more money.
Like, I know.
For instance, I paid €100 for the game. And when I streamed the game on release, because the servers went to shit, there was a ton of people coming into my stream and donating money. So it's like I made the money back
to be honest,
on the first stream.
I'd rather make less money but not give a single cent to Blizzard than making content on it. So
with Blizzard, my personal thing was Overwatch. Because I had the WoW shit on my back already, and I was like on and off with that. But when Overwatch thing happened, I was like, right. Lovely.
Yeah.
Again, and this is like we're running quite on time here, and I don't care because this is getting really really juicy. But the one thing that I didn't do, and I might get some slander for this, is I refuse to buy Jedi Survivor.
No,
why would you get slander? I think it's perfectly reasonable.
I'm done with buying games from big fucking companies who know what they're doing. I have I have a 3070 Ti in this machine right here. And even if that wasn't the case, when I know that there's a game that has technical bug issues that are seriously impactful on a fucking PlayStation 5, it's a big deal for me. I'm tired.
It was funny to me.
It
was funny to me when people kept saying, "Oh, game runs fine on PS5," and then I put that clip on Twitter of it running like low teen frame rate on performance mode. I was like, "Duh, it does it? Huh? Interesting.
Smooth.
Must be." And people were like, "Oh, your PlayStation 5 is broken." I'm like, "Yes, exactly. Specifically and only on this
Only
game
for this
yes.
game.
Dying
Makes
on a
perfect
weird
sense to
hill
me.
there. That's a weird hill to die on. And it's the thing is, right? The problem is when you're a fan of this stuff. Like I loved what was the first one? Not Survivor. God, Fallen Order. I loved Fallen Order. I was like, damn, Souls like that Star Wars, that's pretty good. Like this is neat. I fucking love this. Fighting with lightsabers and deflection.
I wouldn't really call it a Souls-like. I think it's more like Uncharted Star Wars almost.
Pretty much. No, you got to more about the parry thing because whenever there's a parry in a game, it was like Souls-like.
Souls-like.
Souls-like. It's got a dodge roll.
Damn, they dodge, dude. They do that thing where they move to attack.
Dude,
fucking incredible.
Lord of the Rings Gollum has a dodge attack, dodging. Therefore,
Souls-like.
Souls-like.
But with that game, I was like, this is neat. And then when I saw that they were making another one, I was like, fantastic, more of what I like. Yeah. And then I think it was again one of those lucky things when I was just not on my PC, and I like if I'm away, I like to buy something when I return, unless I know that I'm 100% gonna play it for real. And I did buy it, played it for an hour, dropped it, because I just I can't be fucked with this anymore in 2023, where big ass corporations know what they're doing, they know what this is about. And then they just kind of put in a public apology on Twitter. Listen,
thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. I feel so much better. You ruining this for me, like, man, I appreciate it. I mean, you're a small... EA is just a small indie game, studio. I get it. Like, this is the same thing as, like, years back with
But
Riot
the thing
Games.
is, interestingly enough, the team that works on that game has more respect for the source material than Disney.
Oh yeah, it's interesting. It's still a turd, but it's a shinier turd.
The story is actually pretty good. The story in that game,
I do say
liked it.
I've played. My friend has a PlayStation 5, and that's what was like the last straw. Because when I was playing on it, I was like, listen, you can. I'm a Star Wars fan. The story's good. The gameplay's fun. The elements in the game are not bad. I'm not calling it a bad game in terms of everything about it is bad. But listen, it's more a personal gripe with the company at this point. Because they keep fucking me over on the titles that I like, specifically Star Wars stuff, and I just can't be bothered with it anymore. Like,
the thing is, like, EA has this track record. Like, I don't know if you guys heard about it, but they even suspended the support on Wild Hearts, which was...
It hasn't... That's not official yet.
It's not official, but, like, developers...
They've probably did. I'm just saying that when it comes to facts, you got to be careful when you say, EA's not supporting it anymore.
Okay, it's very likely that EA won't be supporting...
Just say allegedly after everything, you're fine.
Allegedly, there won't be any new content for Wild Hearts, but simply support when it comes to technical things, which... I get it, it didn't sell a lot, but if you make a game, you expect it to release in 2-3 years for a brand new style of game, essentially, for your company.
And it was good.
It was good.
Was really good.
It was really good, but it got rushed. It got rushed. Like probably even all the Star Wars game got rushed because optimization
case between publisher versus developer.
Optimization.
The thing is, I don't know in this case if it was just publisher versus developer because of the way that we've seen other games come out from Koei Tecmo. I'm not sure.
I get it.
Because like Wo Long also had problems on PC, I heard. Like on PS5 it was pretty good, no real issues, but I've heard that Wo Long on PC was also like, oof, rough.
Yeah.
I remember Cowboy even recorded a bunch of episodes where he had like glitching, some like textures were glitching, so he would play the game in a way not to turn his camera.
Oh, genius,
man.
Fighting Cowboys.
It was like one or two. I think there was like 1 or 2 levels where he had to do that. It was a while ago though, so
he's the true Florida man. Men will find ways around problems that you would never even imagine.
He's like, listen, I gotta do this playthrough, man. It's gotta happen.
It's gonna happen one way or the other. No, but yeah, I think it's just more of the going back, like, and tracking this back to Armored Core is a nice little conclusion statement. This is why I will always support FromSoft and companies like Capcom and the Monster Hunter team, because the game is delivered completely. I had no problems with it, so anyone that did have technical problems, okay, I'm sorry, but it is warranted that
it's your fault.
Like that. It's your fault. Get a better computer now. But no, it's more about
that's what
get a
Todd
complete
Howard said.
experience.
Just get a better computer.
Just get a better
Oh,
graphics
yeah.
card.
Fuck the fact that
Jesus
they're going for
Christ.
nearly the price of a car. Just buy a new one.
To me, it was hilarious when he said that because, like, he said that, and then I was streaming the game, and my ship stopped rendering like the hull. And I was like, so wait, upgrade my computer to what? I have a 6900 XT, Todd.
Get another
it's not
one.
even an NVIDIA. I mean, I guess you can get a 7900.
Buy an Xbox
But
right
it's
now.
like, it was funny because, like, it would seem like you were landing a house because it didn't have like a roof, so you just see the habitats of my ship. It's like, and I was like, wow, I could sure use a couple more textures on this
It
ship.
just works.
Yes,
Don't
it
worry
does.
about it. Put duct tape
16
on that
times
shit.
the detail.
But yeah, if that like this is why I support FromSoft. When was the last time that FromSoft, like, even with stuff like Capcom and Rise being released without a proper ending and all of that, like, this is still something that I can support. What I cannot support is when they start making shitty excuses, refuse to fix the problem, and fix it years down the line. It's like, again, going back to Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 now is a decent game. Like, how many years after it's released? And it took ages for them to fucking fix it.
After they murdered it and destroyed the player base, and nobody's playing that game anymore.
But it's fine. It works now. It's fine. It's great. It's fine. And this is what, like, this is literally my TED talk on why Armored Core 6, in my eyes, should get Game of the Year, even though it probably won't.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you for listening to my TED talk. No, for real though, thank you so much, Duplex, for co-hosting with me again, and Rurikhan, thanks so much for coming in.
No problem. My pleasure.
It was a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys got any closing statements on this entire 3 million different topic conversation we had.
If you haven't given Remnant 2 a chance, I'm gonna shill for the Remnant 2 guys, which is interesting because they were, out of all of the games that I played this year, they were probably the only ones that didn't give me a review code, and I'm still shilling for them. Like, I interview Ben Kierton, all of these things. I didn't even get a review code for them. People constantly telling me that I sell myself out for these review codes, and then I come in here and I shill the one game that didn't give me one.
I'll highly stand behind this one. I played Remnant 2, love the first one. Second one's 10 times better.
It's just because it's easy to forget, because, like, all of the other games that are fantastic, right? Like Baldur's Gate 3, everybody's talking about it. Everybody knows about it.
It's all right. We'll turn it into a short, and then it will go into the algorithm. We inject that shit forcibly. It's not a problem.
Algorithm manipulation. Just like Facts for Life.
No, but the thing is, most of the other great games people are aware of. I feel like there's a lot of people sleeping on Remnant 2, and that would be the one that I would shout out a little bit.
100%. I can stand behind that. And if anything, Duplex, buy the fucking game and play it.
I will buy the game if people start playing Hi-Fi Rush as well. I gotta shill that game because
is this a trade?
It's a trade, right?
Trade offer. You play Hi-Fi Rush. I play Remnant 2.
I will play Remnant 2. I definitely want to play it.
You hear that, Rurikhan? Unplug your recording software. Go back into Hi-Fi Rush now.
Buy a new PC.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
No, but again, thank you so much for you guys for listening. I hope you had a great time. Rurikhan, we're definitely gonna have to get together at some point to talk about Gunlance. Just Gunlance, nothing else. For like a full 5-hour special.
5 hours stream.
Two Gunlance mains bitching about the weapon for 5 hours.
Yes.
Okay, but I hope to go see you guys around. All their links are going to be in the description. Don't forget to go check those out, and I'll see you around. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye.